second-round pick out of Minnesota. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said on his radio show 105.3 The Fan today, the quarterback Dak Prescott most likely is headed to IR with that hamstring injury he suffered in Sunday's loss to the Atlanta Falcons.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. What a Tuesday it's going to be today. So much going on with the trade deadline in 58 minutes from right now.
58 minutes, that's right.
58 minutes. You've got the College Football Playoff Committee. They are going to have their first, ranking system, whatever you want to call it, tonight. There's a lot going on in the world.
Is that all that's going on today?
Well, we're still trying to figure out how in the hell the Spurs lost a 26-point lead, how the Aggies get stormed twice in 3 days. They lose to South Carolina. They stormed the field. Aggie basketball, they lose last night to, Central Florida? And Central Florida storms the court, and those idiots down there in Florida turn the lights off in the middle of the storming process. I don't get it.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, you don't want to get stormed on. You don't lose. It's the way it goes, right? I don't really feel bad for the Aggies.
Well,
what the hell?
I mean, now, granted, this isn't a shot at the Aggies, although I know it will sound that way. But in either case, are the Aggies at a level to where you beat them and storm the field or storm the court? I mean, for South Carolina, was that really the win that you stormed the court? I get Vandy. You beat Vanderbilt, and you throw the goalposts in the river. That makes sense. Basketball last night, I know it's an upset, but isn't Central Florida now in the Big 12?
I don't think last night is ridiculous. I mean, it just started the season, right?
Opening night?
Football game, okay, I can see that. You come in, the Aggies were rolling. Everybody talking about them as playing in the SEC championship game, and then so you beat them, and you storm the field. I'm okay with that one, but the basketball makes no sense.
Basketball makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
One of the best memes or whatever you call it, video jokes, posts on social media, the bushes there at South Carolina that all those kids are getting stuck in, they couldn't get through. The bushes played better defense against South Carolina than Texas A&M on Saturday night.
Unbelievable. All I know is I'm very happy today. The Baker Mayfields covered the spread last night. That's all that matters. And so I'm a very happy camper.
We walked out of here yesterday. I thought you were going to take Kansas City in the points.
I took Tampa Bay in the points.
Well, but I mean the way you handle it, I like Kansas City to win the game, but they're not covering that. I know what you were saying, but the way you were questioning it made me think you really think they're going to win this game by 10. Joe's going to put his money on the 10.
Didn't do it. I took the 9 points and was very happy about it. Look, Kansas City hasn't beaten anybody really bad this year. It's been close. And I got to hand it to Baker Mayfield. Not a huge fan, but the guy played really well last night with no wide receivers. None.
He's been playing really well since he got to Tampa. He's a hell of a quarterback. I am a Baker Mayfield fan, and I feel like I'm in a minority by saying that, but I like the kid when I saw him in high school. His journey through college, there's just something about him. Get him in the right situation, and he can be that guy.
He throws a really nice football. And I was watching last night and just noticed that. I mean, he's an accurate quarterback. He had some, obviously, every quarterback, not going to throw perfect balls all night long, but for the most part, this guy throws a really good ball. He's got a good tight end there in Otten that he utilized a lot, but no wide receivers to speak of. None.
No.
Man.
No. No. And then you look at Kansas City and you wonder, man, who can beat this team? Because even when they don't play well, they figure out ways to win. They won't run the table. They'll lose. But when you look at this point, midway point of the NFL season, who do you really think are legit Super Bowl contenders. And I'll put Baltimore in there, although Baltimore can't beat Kansas City. I would put Buffalo in there, but I don't know that Buffalo is legit. So Kansas City and Baltimore in the AFC, and Detroit and who in the NFC do you really see as a team that could go all the way? And then you look at who's making moves at the trade deadline. And just on the NFC side, the Washington Commanders today make a massive trade. They get Marshon Lattimore, and they give up a lot to get Marshon Lattimore. This is a team, by definition, Jerry Jones, that is all in.
Absolutely, they are.
But do you really think Washington can go to a Super Bowl in the first year with the new head coach and a rookie quarterback? I don't.
Well, the way they're
they'll
playing
make some
right
noise.
now, yeah, the way they're playing right now, you have to put them in the conversation. You have to. Look, Detroit's playing the best football of anybody. Yeah, Kansas City included.
Yeah.
They're playing better than anybody right now. So does that continue? And, of course, there's a lot of season to go. Injury-wise, anything can happen. You got San Francisco's going to get McCaffrey back. They're also going to get Juwan Jennings back. So that's going to help them tremendously. Do they get their act going? So there's still a lot of football to be played, which is nice. So the story is just halfway written.
If the playoffs started today, your NFC playoff teams would be Detroit, Washington is the 2 seed, Atlanta, Arizona, Minnesota, Philly, and Green Bay.
How about that?
Again, Detroit is the only legit Super Bowl contender right now in the NFC. Washington, they'll be a nice playoff team. I just don't see them running the gauntlet and getting down to New Orleans. On the AFC side, if the playoffs started today, Kansas City, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Houston, Baltimore, the Chargers, and Denver would be your playoff teams.
Well, Denver won't be there at the end. They're not going to be there at the end. No, it's a fact. I don't care who's. It could be Joe Payton coaching that team. It doesn't make any difference. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're just not good enough offensively to make the playoffs. Their defense is good, but they'll fold.
But as I talk about legit teams, Kansas City, Baltimore.
Yes. You got to throw Buffalo in there. They're playing really well.
Sure. But what about Pittsburgh? Again, another team at the deadline makes a trade today. They get wide receiver Mike Williams from the Jets.
Yep.
Giving up a 5th-round pick. And you just look at that and you go, okay, that's just another weapon. Mike Tomlin, the way he runs things, could he be onto something here with the team that surprisingly they are 6-2, and one of those losses was to the Dallas Cowboys. Keep that in mind.
They got to feel horrible about that.
Well, I mean, you talk about a bad loss. This is Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois
Yes,
at this point.
is.
It feels that way. But I mean, when you look at this and you look at the teams that have made deals so far, Washington makes a deal. The Steelers make a deal. The Bengals go get Khalil Herbert from the Bears. They get a running back. The Lions, Ladarius Smith from Cleveland, a trade that people have been talking about since, hell, I don't know, Hutchinson got hurt in Dallas. They finally get that deal done at the deadline. The Steelers also added a pass rusher in Preston Smith, veteran guy from Green Bay. Not sure why Green Bay's selling on him, but you look at Pittsburgh on the deadline. They help the offense and they help the defense. And then you get the Cowboys making a dumbass trade. Well, what the hell are the Cowboys doing? All their needs. All their needs, they go get a wide receiver?
If they were going to give up a 7th-round pick for this guy, maybe it's, okay, I get it. They're obviously looking at the future with Mingo. But a fourth, what is the fascination with Jerry Jones and trading?
You think I'm an idiot?
For with 4th-round picks? I don't understand it. You get Trey Lance with a 4th, and now you get a Jonathan Mingo, who has been absolutely nothing in Carolina.
Now, with Mingo, he was a one of the 30 visits for the Cowboys a couple years ago. By all reports, they really liked him coming out of college. They just couldn't draft him because Carolina took him with the 2nd round because they're drafting experts. Ask Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And then you look at, well, do I judge anything on this kid for what's happened in Carolina, knowing how bad the quarterback play has been? And I know they've been kind of phasing him out. Maybe they were phasing him out to make him tradable, to make sure he didn't get hurt so he could trade. But the 4th-round pick it feels like such an overpay, such a typical Jerry Jones move, but Jerry's going to try to sell it as, well, he went in the second round, and I got him for a fourth-rounder. And they do have, 4 fifth-round picks in next year's draft? So they could easily get that fourth round back or get a fourth-round pick. But of all the needs, why would they give up any of next year's draft assets for anything for this roster? Although, again, young receiver on a rookie deal seems to overpay, but maybe not. But it makes no sense. When I say Herbert went for a seventh-round pick, so, Jerry, you couldn't find a running back with a pulse for a seventh-rounder when the Bengals could?
Well, I mean, think about this, and it may be apples and oranges just because of the age difference. Kansas City got D-Hop for a fifth.
Yeah.
I mean, so, it doesn't make any sense. And it really, this guy's Jalen Tolbert if he's anybody. I mean, that's who you compare him to. He's not any better. He wasn't even that great at Mississippi, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, he was a second rounder.
Yeah, well, I think they overpaid Carolina.
But again,
did.
He was one of the 30 visits that the Cowboys had. There, I mean, whatever. But you look at wide receivers. Mike Williams, a fifth round. Herbert goes in the seventh round. D-Hop was a fifth rounder, and you felt like Kansas City was desperate, maybe overpaid for D-Hop. Now, granted, age is a big part of that.
Sure.
But you just kind of go back, and you just feel like every time there's a trade, you see Jerry Jones just straight up getting fleeced.
Yes.
Let's go with that F word
Yeah.
on the trade. Because what the hell is he thinking? Of all things, I'm surprised they did anything. Stand pat or sell. No, they don't want to do that. Let's try to add, and Mingo is what you come up with?
Well, and certainly a project, right? He's not going to help this team this year. I can't imagine that he does. Maybe he surprises all of us. But you got to believe that this is a future pick that they made at the trade deadline. This is something they thought they could get done today, and that he'll help in the future. Because who knows what Jalen Tolbert's future is in Dallas. I can't imagine that it's going to be long because this guy has really not done anything or proven himself. They need a number 2 wide receiver. So I'm not. I'm trying to make sense of it, Jason, and I'm not making much sense myself.
No, again, you can't make sense out of nonsense. And I don't know what the Cowboys' plan is. Doesn't seem like they have a plan unless they really like this Mingo guy and they think that he's better than what they were going to get in the fourth round next year. And you get him, I don't know, acclimated to McCarthy's system only to watch McCarthy get fired, and then he's got to adjust to yet another system. But, hey, I don't know. I don't know what the Cowboys are doing. Again, are you happy as a Cowboy fan that the Cowboys did something? Or you like me going, well, that was stupid. Why?
Yeah, I'm not
why?
Sure. I'm not sure why they did anything. I mean, this season's, I would assume, pretty much lost unless you listen to Micah Parsons, and he's quoting Dan Cook saying the fat lady hadn't even warmed up yet. So it depends on who you look at. We talked about it yesterday. I think Mike McCarthy's got to keep the illusion alive that the season's not over. And that's the only way he's going to keep things together. But
well,
I'm shocked the Cowboys did anything, much less I can see them not selling, but to go out and get a guy like Mingo doesn't make much sense.
Not at all. But Jerry is still confident that this season is not lost. He said that this morning on the radio. We'll talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you are a business owner, a manager, club leader, you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Do you need your company logo, your group logo, club logo, organization logo on a nice polo, a half zip, a dress shirt, fishing shirt, any kind of shirt? Sam will get you taken care of. You need that logo on a cap? Sam has over 25,000 caps in more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom right now. And he's got all the popular cap brands like Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps in stock, just waiting for your logo. If you need t-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands. No order too big, no order too small. You need one item, 24 items, 25,000 items, more or less, doesn't matter. Sam will get you taken care of. All items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What Mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish, chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
An accident or injury can derail your life in an instant, leaving you struggling to pay for medical bills and daily expenses. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe every Texan deserves justice, no matter their financial situation. That's why we offer our no-win, no-fee promise. You don't pay us unless we win your case. We know how difficult recovering from an accident can be. Let us handle your case while you focus on getting better. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Appreciate you tuning in here on 94.1. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always comment on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and thumbs up and all that good stuff.
Please. Yes, please do all those things. It makes us feel good on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Especially after the Cowboys make a boneheaded trade again. Makes us feel better.
Boneheaded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right along the lines of a Trey Lance.
No, there's nothing worse than that. Unless they use Trey Lance now that Dak Prescott's out, likely headed to the IR. Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan this morning said, any thoughts of playing Trey instead of Cooper?
Well, let's just don't dismiss the possibility of doing anything. And the going with has a past tense aspect to it that I wouldn't recognize. It's not impossible to incorporate some of the skills that we might get from both quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, why not? I mean, why not use Trey Lance? Seriously, what have you got to lose? If Dak Prescott, which he hasn't done yet, by the way, officially gone to IR, Jerry, we expect it, but why not use Trey Lance?
I mean, again, whether Dak goes to IR or not, he's not going to play this week.
Right.
Why not play Trey Lance? Although Jerry did say today Dak is more than likely headed to IR.
Well, it's 50, but it's extended period of time here, so I wouldn't dare make a prediction when it could be. It's likely we'll IR him, and so we'll see kind of how his rehab goes.
We're going to IR him.
Yeah. Which takes out November, essentially, because you got to miss at least 4 games. But almost like the Aggies, you got Reed, you got Connor, right? Why not see what you have in Trey Lance? I mean, you're going to have a new receiver to throw to, and maybe that is one of the reasons why they made a trade today for a wide receiver where I might say, okay, maybe not as boneheaded as it seems, because he's 6'2", could be a bit of a red zone target if the Cowboys could actually get into the red zone. But if the injury to CeeDee Lamb is a little bit more serious, they're going to need a wide receiver. That would be the only reason why I could say, okay, I see why you did that. To help this year's team is if CD is truly out. Although by all accounts, who knows how long CD is going to be out if he misses any time whatsoever.
Well, he said yesterday, I think it was yesterday, he said he'll be out there. And I fully expect him to be. He played through it on Sunday. After he was hurt, he came back in. I think CD will be out there at least to give it a go. And are you saying is Mingo going to be ready to play this Sunday? I mean, that would be expecting a lot unless you just tell him to go to the mailbox and take a right. I mean, I don't know what else you would do. He's got to learn the system a little bit, and I'm sure he'll be studying the rest of the week.
I don't know. If I listen to Troy Aikman, the Cowboys all have a bunch of lazy route runners anyway that don't run good, crisp routes, so does he need to fully understand?
Mingo will fit right in, from what I understand.
I don't get it. As far as Lamb goes, what about Micah? What about Zeke? Jerry did update on the availability of those 3.
Well, Lamb, of course, we think there's a good chance that he'll be playing at Philadelphia, and Parsons as well.
What about Zeke for this week?
And I think there's a good chance Zeke can go this week.
All right, good. Fair.
Yeah, no, and Zeke. Thank God. I'm so happy that Zeke's going to be playing this week.
Well, playing and dressed are two different things.
I was really worried about the running game if Zeke wasn't going to be in there. Man, I'm very happy now.
So the Cowboys are 3-5.
Could be 3-9 before Dak gets back.
Could be.
Could be.
But you got Philadelphia this week. A Philly team that, despite poor coaching, is playing pretty good football. Jerry Jones did say this morning why he is still confident in this team this season.
Well, I think that you don't see it in the 3-5. And, of course, Bill always said, Parcells, you are what you are. But what you do see is a group that, because of its, again, a couple of rookies there in that offensive line, we can see that getting better and not making those mistakes, period, pre-snaps or otherwise, penalties. But I see that as a potential upside going into the future. They'll play better. They do some things that are real impressive. I'm talking about our rookies there in the offensive line. And that, to me, when I look ahead, I see that improving. I think we can do some things. We're going to bring a receiver in more than likely today that we've really have thought a lot of and wanted to draft him, and so we're going to get a chance to get him. So I can see improvement, much less the players that we haven't had. Now, all the teams are dealing with injury, as we well know. But we've got some players that are right here ready to come in probably as early as this week, but certainly over the next 2 weeks that could really give this thing a different look. Plus, on defense, what Zim's trying to do, you've got another week under your belt. We'll get better at that. And so I look at all of that as a positive. There's no question that Dak's injury is a setback, but we've seen Cooper do it. We know what we need to do relative to the strategies on the offense. We just need to come together and game by game use all of our players to the extent it helps us.
It's so brilliant. I mean, Mingo is going to save the season. You kind of heard him say that. We got a receiver coming in. We're going to get healthy. And if we can just score more than the other guys, everything is going to be just fine. Never mind the fact that we've been outscored by 54 points this year.
And at home hasn't been very good, and you got Philly coming into Jerry World. Not a lot of confidence going there. Look, I could see a scenario. They're obviously going to start Cooper Rush, and he's going to play the majority of the time. But if your running game is struggling, you put a Trey Lance in there and let him run with the football. Who cares if he gets cut in half?
Yeah.
I mean, does it really matter?
Well,
if he gets hurt? I mean, honestly, it doesn't all that much. You let that young dude run the football, and maybe that helps your running game a little bit. How long have we been talking about Trey Lance getting on the field and maybe playing running back? The guy can run the football.
He can, and we've been talking about it since the Cowboys front office failed to provide a quality running back for this year's team.
Well, there's that.
It is comical that we joked last week when Mike Elko said on Jim Rome that, yeah, we will play a quarterback. And he said that tongue-in-cheek. It is criminal that the Cowboys front office, football people, put together a roster without a capable running back, without a real running back room. When you look around the league and you look at other teams that might be on their third running back, but at least that person looks capable. Dalvin Cook hasn't even looked capable. I know, some people thought he would get 1,000 yards this year.
He got 2 carries last week.
Again.
2.
Again.
How the hell can you look capable with 2 carries?
So you're going to defend it on carries?
He had 2 carries.
All right. I mean, and I know you want to win a beer bet.
I'm not going to win a beer bet. That's over.
But You look at, like, Luke Schoonmaker has been in the doghouse. That guy's been on a milk carton. How many plays has he had the last couple of days?
Well, as he should be.
Well, again, though, you can't tell me that. I mean, you think that guy sucks. He's not playing. Dalvin Cook, how's he supposed to get there if he's only getting 2 carries? Clearly, he's not getting it done in practice to generate more opportunity in the game.
So let's see. We're going to commit to the running game, and I think they carried the football, 14 times?
Was it that many?
Against Atlanta? Wow.
And 10
Let's
of those were
commit
by
to
accident.
that running game.
No, they're not committed to the running game.
12 of those carries by Rico Dowdle, and I'd have to look at it. I know Dalvin got 2. There may have been another random in there. I know Dak ran with the football a couple of times. So, I mean, how can anybody get in a rhythm running the football when you're not running the football?
You're right. Well, again, they're not committed to running the ball. I don't care what Mike McCarthy says. His actions speak so much louder than his words, and they have now for a season and a half since he fired Kellen Moore for not running the football.
Yes.
Right? I mean, and again, it might be by pure design that as much as he wants to run the ball, he knows they can't because they don't have capable running backs or an offensive line that's capable of run blocking. I mean, we look at the Houston Texans. Their offensive line is just awful at pass protection. But, you know, they do a pretty good job at run blocking, and they have a pretty good running back that is running behind them that can find the holes that are there. That's not a good offensive line in Houston, and they can't pass protect for anything.
It's horrible.
But they can run block, and they've got a running back that is capable of finding a crease and making something out of his opportunities. Cowboys don't have that.
No, they don't have that at all. And look, I still believe that you've got to give your offensive line. Look, if Houston's offensive line can't pass block, but they can run block, well, maybe Dallas's can do the same. They obviously can't pass block. They can't do that, but give them an opportunity. I mean, what have you got to lose now? If you just go up to the line of scrimmage and run the football 3 straight times, what the hell do you have to lose? You're not getting it done any other way. Run the football. They carried the ball 21 times last week. Rico Dowdle had 12, Prescott 3, C.D. Lamb had 2, Dalvin Cook had 2, Lupke had 1, and Cooper Rush had 1.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your running game.
And Cooper's was by accident, too.
Grand total of 137 yards. I mean, Dalvin Cook was averaging 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want. 4 yards a carry. 2 carries for 8 yards.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, you know, Rico's 6.3 a carry.
Exactly.
12 for but again, they don't stay committed to it. We know that. And the fact that they constantly tell us, Mike McCarthy, they want to run the ball. They don't want to run the ball. And you're right. I mean, you got to go run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Because at least then you're taking time off the clock. Every drive's going to take a couple of minutes off the clock.
Exactly.
If you throw it a couple of times and it's incomplete, you have a whole drive that might take 48 seconds off the clock. And then you punt it, and the other offense is on the field, and you wonder how you get blown out. That's how you get blown out.
Especially when you're playing the game. Philly.
Yeah, shorten the game.
You want to keep Saquon Barkley on the sideline as long as you can because the guy might have 600 yards Sunday.
Sad part is you're not wrong. I mean, he'll jump over you going the other way.
He will. Damn. It just I don't understand it. It just makes no sense. Some of the things that the Cowboys do just make me want to bang my head against the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Can we have a little quiet riot? Because that should be the Cowboys theme song this year.
Oh, my goodness. It's unbelievable.
Apparently, we're not going to get quiet riot.
We must not have it.
Apparently not. No? All right. That would have been good. Little Kevin DeBro.
Something to think about.
Yeah. Could see them coming out onto the field Sunday against Philadelphia with Bang Your Head over the loudspeakers there. That would be good. You can be there, too. We've got tickets to give away if you want to go see the Cowboys and Eagles. You can register for them at sasportstar.com. Still fun to go to the games. You go register to win those tickets while you're at sasportstar.com. If you've done any grilling over the last couple of days, Make sure you upload those great photos of that meat on your grill to the Grilling with the Blitz page for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Coming up, not that we have a real update from the Spurs, but the latest on the Spurs and Greg Popovich, what Shams is reporting right now. After the Spurs blew a 26-point lead last night in losing to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll get into that. Coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs get back to business, but it'll be without Pop. We'll talk about what they need to do.
And we'll talk all the fallout from the NFL trade deadline. Starts at 6. Don't miss it.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, wings, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Order Taco Bell for game day now through November 17, 2024. Second item of equal or lesser value. Terms apply. See app for details.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tab when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The 90s called. They said the Gordita Supreme is so back in the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's all looking fresh to death with the pillowy 90s Gordita Supreme alongside the beefy 5-layer burrito, double stacked taco, chips with nacho cheese sauce, and medium drink. All for just $7. It's your wallet's favorite cheesy crunchy combo here for a limited time. Grab yours and relive the decades, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for price and participation, which varies. Drinks and foods freezes. Tax extra.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at tsaog.com.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Change is exciting, like moving into a new house or to a new city. Everything is new and different. Well, everything is also new and exciting with the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. From the design and styling to the performance and tech features, Kicks has been totally reimagined from the inside out. This city-sized crossover is ready to take on city life and have fun doing it. Head to NissanUSA.com to see it today.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Spurs lose last night. They were up 26 and lost. They had a brilliant first quarter.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Their second quarter was unbelievable as well. Unbelievably bad. And quite frankly, it all seems so, I don't know, doesn't matter because we still don't know what's going on with Spurs head coach Greg Popovich. The Spurs are always tight-lipped, and it seems even more so right now. I'm in the Express News. Mike Finger's got a column today that I don't know what to make of what's really going on with Greg Popovich, that we don't know how serious the health issue was, but it certainly seems serious, but they also are trying to keep the same routine, like dinner last night in Los Angeles after the game. Everybody was on that bus and everybody went to dinner because that's what Greg Popovich would want them to do, right?
Yeah.
And again, you're not late for the Spurs dinners, and I'm sure somebody has his American Express card and, you know, Pop paid even though he wasn't there. But just listening to interim coach Mitch Johnson before the game last night.
Just want to start off by saying Pop's impact on our organization, from the players that he's coached and the staff that's worked with him in the community of San Antonio, it's hard to articulate or put into words. And if I try to probably put them into words, it would not do it justice. He's been tremendous for me personally, and right now his health is the number one priority, and we support him in that 100%. And I talked to him last night. He's in good spirits. He'll be okay. He is okay, and we can't wait to have him back.
I'm glad he's okay, because when I first heard that soundbite, I mean, it sounds like an obit right at the beginning, does it? I mean, it really does. It's like, oh, he's been great for me, great for the and all of that's true, but I mean, it sounded very dark.
In 39 seconds there, Mitch Johnson went from sounding like something he would say to somebody who's not here to he's going to be all right. He is okay.
Yeah.
And again, we don't know. You know, the Mike Finger column today, which is fantastic, talks a little bit more about why they're going with the 37-year-old who's an up-and-coming guy. And if this is more than 2 games, you get a nice extended long look at an up-and-coming coach. And again, we have no idea, and so we're not going to speculate. I've heard things. Joe has heard things. None of it is consistent. So neither one of us are going to say what we're hearing because I don't know what to believe.
No.
And again, the Spurs very tight-lipped, even more so on this than you would expect. And the organization could get out in front and say, this is what happened, or not tell us what happened, but you know what? It is going to be for a little bit longer than 2 games. Right now, we know he won't coach against Houston. Then we have a few minutes ago on ESPN, NBA Today, Shams Charania, and you listen to this from about 10 minutes ago on ESPN television.
Like, I'm told that it was a health issue, and it was a serious health issue that the Spurs dealt with and Greg Popovich dealt with over the weekend. It was a situation on Saturday night pregame that Greg Popovich needed medical attention in San Antonio. It is still uncertain when he's going to make it back on the floor, on the sidelines for this team. There is a great level of concern around the situation for the Spurs, for Greg Popovich. In the meantime, assistant coach Mitch Johnson has stepped in as the acting interim head coach. He's a rising head coach in this league. Malika, I'm told he was a finalist for the Washington Wizards head coaching job a season ago in the offseason that went to Brian Keefe. And so this is something that the Spurs are very well regarded with. They know how important he is, how valuable he is, and he will be at the helm for the foreseeable future.
Interesting stuff. And again, Charean is about as plugged in as anybody, so I'll take his word for it. But this sounds like a very serious thing. And again, when you hear Mitch Johnson begin that pregame press conference, I mean, I was listening to that going, oh my gosh, this is bad. And then he said, well, he's okay. He's going to be okay. And I'm like, man. So, I mean, all this does is further the fire of speculation that all of us have running in our heads. And it's almost like, and I love everybody down there, but it's almost like the Spurs organization is just like, it's too bad. This is just the way it is. Deal with it.
And that's the way they are. I mean, I saw, Rick Carlisle saying, hey, whatever's going on in San Antonio, like, I have no idea. But when you just listening to that report from Shams, serious, needed medical attention on Saturday night. Something came on sudden, right? It's not like, hey, I don't feel good. I mean, the way that report is, if accurate, there was something. Great level of concern, and for the foreseeable future, which isn't a week, a game, 2 games, 3 games. We have no idea, and the Spurs don't want to tell us. Pop probably doesn't want to tell us. And part of me, I get that. I mean, and I've mentioned this before, it drives me nuts, but, my mother never wants to say what all's going on. And when my dad was still with us, like, oh, yeah, I spent 3 days in the hospital last week. Thanks, Dad, for telling us. How do you not tell us? So I get having, dealing with that. But when you're in the public eye, there is a responsibility to the fans, is there not?
Absolutely there is. And again, you don't have to say what happened, but it's like, hey, Pop had a medical issue, serious one. He's out, and it's going to be a while. Just pray for him, and in the meantime, we'll carry on. But he's going to be okay. By all intents and purposes, he's going to be okay. I don't see where that's hurting anybody's medical privacy or anything like that, but people want to know. I want to know. Greg Popovich is an institution in this town, and people want to know if the man is going to be okay.
I just look at all of it. What would he be? You don't want to tell people generally when things are going on because it's embarrassing. There's nothing embarrassing about a medical issue. Pick whatever it is and you go with it. Those are things that you cannot control, right?
Sure.
You just can't control them. Whether, it's this, that. I mean, we hear about all kinds of different things, and, it happens. I mean, I'm losing a gallbladder. I mean, it happens, right? So I don't understand the privacy here unless it's more severe and you don't want in the public until everybody knows. But by now, everybody close to you should be fully aware and has had plenty of time to get here if that were the case.
I would imagine so. That's got to be the case, or they've certainly been notified, I would imagine. So, yeah, I think the Spurs organization owes it to the fans to at least let us know how Greg Popovich is. Is he okay? Is he going to be okay? Is he going to be out a month? I mean, we don't know. But, I mean, yeah, something should be said. And, again, Mitch Johnson saying, well, he's going to be okay. Well, okay. Well, right. I guess that's good. But what does that mean? Because when he started that soundbite, it doesn't sound good.
It's like even listening to Wemby talking about Pop. There is that sense that Pop will be back, but no idea how long.
Of course, we all miss him. We hope he's all right. We know he's gonna come back. We know he's gonna want to come back earlier than he probably should, but that's Pop. Even if he's not with us right now, we still feel we still try to apply what he's been trying to teach us, and Mitch is doing a great job at putting in the coaching his own personality too, and pushing us in his own way. We just, of course, we all want to see Pop back, but it's our job to apply regardless of the conditions right now.
It sounds like and I'm speculating because that's all I have to go on, that he's going to be out for a while. I mean, it sounds like Greg Popovich is not coming back anytime soon, just from what I hear from Wemby, from what you hear from Mitch Johnson. Spurs fans, it looks like Mitch Johnson is going to be your head coach for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, the indefinite part is in all caps and underlined 3 different times. And the idea, again, the extended look, and that's basically what Finger's writing in the Express News today, that, there's other people, but this is a guy who's going to be an upcoming guy. And could they, they're giving him that strong look. They're going with the young guy. They're seeing what's out there. I also wonder how much that factors in with what does Wemby want? Because let's face it, Wemby will have a say in the next head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, no matter when that is. No matter whether it's medical and Pop can't come back, who knows? And I hate even going down that path at this point. Or Pop decides to retire in 9 years, and Wemby is going to have a say in who the next head coach is going to be, and maybe that has a lot to do with why Mitch is the interim head coach or acting head coach.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously, it kills me to have to, speculate like this, but he's just there to fill a gap. And I think Mitch Johnson is going to be a head coach in the NBA at some point in time. He's a basketball guy. I mean, he's a very intelligent basketball guy. So, but I don't think this is the time. And I have to believe that Greg Popovich is coming back, or at least that's what everybody thinks. The question is how long is that going to be? And that's what we're dealing with right now. And how will that affect this ball club? Look, Mitch Johnson is going to do everything pretty much the way Greg Popovich has laid it out.
Sure.
He's not going to stray from that a great deal, maybe here or there, but he's not going to stray from that a great deal. So whatever happens with this basketball team would have happened whether it's Mitch Johnson or Greg Popovich, you have to believe.
And again, you go with the Shams Charania report a few minutes ago on ESPN television, described it as a serious condition, needed medical attention on Saturday night, great level of concern, and Mitch is going to be the acting coach for the foreseeable future. So, and again, no any kind of update official from the San Antonio Spurs. And for those that were in Los Angeles last night at the game, whether it's tweets from a Jeff McDonald or a Mike Finger or a Michael C. Wright, everything seems closer to the vest than normal.
Yeah, that really does. And that only leads you to believe that this was something extremely serious.
Yes.
And that's troubling. So we'll see. I don't know. I have to believe it was something pretty serious.
So we are 6 minutes away from the trade deadline. 6 minutes.
Huh. I think the Cowboys are going to, I don't know, maybe they're trading for Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, jeez. Of all the things?
Well, I'm just saying. A clean swap, Kansas City. Here's Dak Prescott for Patrick Mahomes. Bam.
You think I'm an idiot?
I mean, I'd make the call if I were Jerry.
Yes, I would. I might make the call to Tampa Bay for Baker Mayfield at this point.
Make that call for a lot of people. Ain't nobody picking up. Ain't nobody picking up.
That's true.
We'll see if there's any last second right before the deadline deals that get announced. We'll keep you updated here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 1604 with The Blitz.
On the road again.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Settling in after 2 on the road. The Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is home cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Smoky Moe's Texas Barbecue, the best neighborhood barbecue in San Antonio, is now taking orders for Thanksgiving smoked turkeys and holiday parties. Hurry, their whole smoked turkeys sell out every year. Order a freshly smoked, perfectly seasoned turkey and add their delicious side dishes for your best Thanksgiving dinner ever. Having a holiday party? Let Smoky Moe's bring the food. Choose from their classic Texas barbecue to their special holiday catering menu. Order now at SmokyMoe'sBBQ.com or call a Smoky Moe's near you. Smoky Moe's, the pit is lit.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-319-3687. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687. 800-319-3687.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
JCPenney has more gifts, bigger savings for every holiday wish list. Celebrate the season that never stops giving. From denim to diamonds, PJs to perfume, and mixers to massagers, we're giving you more options than ever at a value that helps you give a little extra. Looking for more bright ideas? We've got the big brands everyone wants. From Levi's to Legos, there's more to love for them and you. All the deals, all the feels, all the gifts to go around. JCPenney. Make it count.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the trade deadline is about to be the deadline, but the Cowboys did make a move before the deadline, trading a 2025 4th-round draft pick to the Carolina Panthers for wide receiver Jonathan Mingo, a former 2nd-round pick out of Mississippi. Washington Commanders addressed a defensive weakness today, making a trade with the New Orleans Saints for cornerback Marshon Lattimore and a 2025 7th-round pick in exchange for a 3rd, 4th, and 6th in 2025.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
That's the buzzer for the trade deadline.
That was a weak buzzard.
What kind of buzzer would you like? Bzzz.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really thinking that. But, I mean, you sound like an old hockey arena whose buzzer went out 3 years ago, but they're still using it.
See that? Right there. Isn't that that's like an old basketball buzzer, right?
Like at the scoreboard?
Yeah.
Checking into the game?
Uh-huh.
Number 11, Joey Reinagel.
Yeah, sound just like that thing.
You really don't.
Just like it.
All right, let's hear yours. Let's hear that one.
Just like it.
Joe has buzzer talents.
Very well could be me. You know AI these days. You never know.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what do we get? The last trade of the day so far is Tre'Davious White going from the Rams to the Ravens, so the Ravens get better, and the Cowboys added a wide receiver. The Texans do nothing.
Nope.
The Texans do nothing. I'm sure Nick Caserio made some calls because, roster management is 24/7, 365.
I also saw where the Panthers tried to trade Bryce Young, and there were no takers.
Uh-huh.
So, or at least for what they wanted, and I'm not sure what they were asking for, but no takers. So he remains a Carolina Panther for now.
So as I say that, Diana Rossini tweets out, the Texans trading Khalil Davis to the Niners for a 7th-round pick.
Okay.
So
must have come in right at the wire.
I've got to blame Indy Kalu for this. This is a guy that has disgraced Indy Kalu's number. And Kalu must have said, get the hell out of Houston. I kid, but Indy Kalu will join us at about 3:30. Curious how he feels that nobody has his old number on the roster currently.
That's interesting. And I wonder if is that a need for San Francisco? I obviously it is. They wouldn't have made the trade, but that would not be something that I would have looked at for San Francisco. But props to them. They're going all in as well.
And again, I mean, they'll get McCaffrey back.
Yep.
And that's one of the teams that you look at where even though they're not playing what you expect right now, you expect them to be there at the end. It's almost like Baltimore or Buffalo. You expect them to disappoint because that's what they typically do. The Cowboys won't be there to disappoint you in the playoffs this year, the way things are going. So it is kind of interesting, although I did see a funny thing online that in the last whatever years it's been, 49ers have lost 3 Super Bowls. Cowboys haven't lost any over that stretch of time.
Yeah,
I mean, if you really want to be glass half full, I mean, the Cowboys have still won a Super Bowl more recently than the San Francisco 49ers.
Is that really, that makes you feel better?
Not at all.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Not at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just funny, some of the crap that you see on the internet.
I don't know if San Francisco's got it in them to get back to the Super Bowl or not, especially with the way The Lions are playing, and who knows, how this will shake out, Minnesota and others, but in Washington too. But they're going to get healthy, and they're going to have most of their team back. So they're also getting Jawan Jennings back. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. It is 3:05, 5 minutes after the deadline. There will always be, or typically there's some late trade that was submitted as long as it hit the fax machine or whatever they use these days before 3. So we'll see if anything comes out over the next few minutes, if anything got done under the deadline. Right now, though, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
So, I didn't watch, and I don't know that I haven't watched the Manning cast all year. But Eli last night did the UIW touchdown celebration after the Chiefs win.
He tried.
Well, all right. There's a way to say that.
Yeah, he tried to do it. It wasn't all that great, but he tried. I just love the fact that, UIW has started a trend among the NFL. It's fantastic with this, what's he calling it, bottoms up?
Well, so here's the thing. It is, originally Jalen said we're going to call it bottoms up. If you go to sasportstar.com on Instagram, there is a video of our conversation yesterday, or a snippet of it, if you will, of our conversation with Jalen. Now, they called it bottoms up. I think it needs to have either some sort of tie-in to Jalen and or UIW. And so of the comments yesterday, there was the waffle stand, the Waffle House, off the waffle, or word up. So we just put the video up. You can go vote on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram on what you like. I will keep private for now what Jalen told me he likes of those suggestions.
Oh, he told you that,
Yeah,
huh?
he messaged me last night about the one he liked the most.
All right.
Which might end up going, but he was game to go with whatever the poll is.
Well, good. So go vote.
And UIW taking full advantage. I saw where they've got him standing on his head with some sort of ticket promotion for their game this weekend.
Which, okay, look, if we're celebrating this and everybody's using it, then Jalen scores a touchdown this week.
Oh, he's got to do it, right?
He has to do it.
He's got to do it.
I mean, he's got to do it every single time. So, coaches, you got to cut him some slack.
Now, again, for the game this weekend, and they're calling it at UIW the viral flash sale. UIW against Lamar, 2 o'clock. $10.60 for your tickets. There's a code, the Walt 106, if you want to go watch UIW play.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
How's the tailgating out there? It's pretty good, isn't it?
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good. You get out there with the Forever First Foundation and those guys tailgating, you'll have a good time.
All right.
It will be fun. They have beer, if that's what you're asking. They have beer, Reinagel.
It's all that matters. A little barbecue would be okay, too.
They've got that, too. There's food.
All right.
But more importantly, there's beer.
That is more important at a tailgate party. Yes, I agree.
I just noticed UIW messed up on their little viral flash sale graphic.
They did?
They did.
Uh-oh.
It says UIW versus Lamar on November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Yeah, the game is on the 9th.
Yeah.
The game is this Saturday, not last Saturday.
Uh-huh. Well, they better change that.
I mean,
because people look at that and say, hey, well, the game's over.
Yeah, sure. Fumble. Happens.
It does. It does.
Be a good game.
Yes, sir. Did I tell you I got 13 picks right in our
No, Joe.
challenge?
You have not bragged at all about
I'm just saying,
13 picks right this week.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, where you at?
Let's see. That should have got me up the leaderboard pretty good ways, huh?
Let's look at our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge.
88.
You've got 88 total correct.
88 total.
I went 10 and 15 last week.
4 behind pledge.
Mm-hmm. 2 behind me.
And 2 behind you.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, I dropped down.
See, when I tell you it's early, it's early.
I mean, you still made up no ground on me.
Well, no, I didn't, but, you know.
Made up some ground on me in this one. In our prime picks that we do on Friday, you're still way behind.
I'm still way behind.
Although,
there.
being Tuesday, you want to start getting your picks in for this week's games. Do that at sasportstar.com. Weekly winners get that gift card to the Mellow Mushroom at the end of the year. The grand prize winner gets $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets.
You know, when we every time we mention the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, this week, Alexandra is very quiet, and I wonder why that is. She's very quiet. I haven't heard from her. Haven't heard from her brag or say she's coming after me. Or what happened, Alexandra? Did you have a rough week?
Wow.
I'm just asking. It happens. It happens.
Do you have a beer bet with Alexandra?
No, I don't. But, you know, she's a trash talker.
Oh, does she?
Yes.
She talks trash?
And so I'm just saying, I mean, you know, she made it a point and an effort to just barrels blazing coming after me.
Barrels blazing. Again, she's like you. She likes low-hanging fruit.
Well, sure.
She thought you were going to be an easy target to pick off.
Well, don't ever assume. You know what happens when you do that.
You had one good week. I've got 10 weeks to show that you've had one good week.
Good week.
You'll end up back to where you need to be.
But yet I'm just 2 behind you.
You're just 2 behind me. I had a bad week.
So we'll take care of that.
I've had a bad week. We'll see what's happening. There's a lot of guys not having a good week. A lot of guys getting let go. Cowboys, they're releasing Jordan Phillips.
Really?
A defensive tackle.
Yeah.
How bad of a defensive tackle do you have to be to get me released by the Dallas Cowboys this year?
With that run defense, you got to be pretty bad.
Well, I mean, with their run defense, with everything else that you've got on that roster, with all the guys that are hurt, and you can't make it on the Dallas Cowboys? Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Unless he's done something that we're not
pissed
aware
somebody
of yet,
off, yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Trade deadline officially here. We'll go over all the moves that were made today. Cowboys, they were active. They got a wide receiver because that's exactly what the Cowboys needed most. Another wide receiver. Make it make sense. We'll dive into that coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you miss The Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
It's a great night for a single guy that dresses up to go out.
You know, I'm not sure. Like, I'm looking at the TV Insider pledges, and I see Laura Rutledge in there. She's not dressed up. But Malika Andrews was, and what was disappointing about that is she had pants on.
Wow.
I mean, you're talking about a scantily clad costume. I didn't mean she's going to take her pants off.
Right home with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Thanksgiving season is the best. That's right, Mr. Turkey. Everyone loves this time of year. Just like Connecticut water softener customers love their Connecticut. Definitely. A Connecticut water softener is the best in the business. Yes, it does keep your feathers soft. Yes, your waddle smooth. And your wings, nah, those things are pretty useless. A Connecticut is a much different water softener compared to the other brands. There's no computer, nothing to plug in, and it runs on kinetic energy. You said it. For a limited time, receive a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best tasting water you've ever had. Mr. Turkey, you're pretty calm considering, you know. Well, on Thanksgiving, we eat turkey.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, wings, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Order Taco Bell for game day now through November 17, 2024. Second item of equal or lesser value. Terms apply. See app for details.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The Morning Huddle.
The old dog himself, Mr. Rob Thompson, rejoins the program.
You know what? I'd have to be near death not to come back after the abuse I took for not being here yesterday.
Listen, you had a very serious case of the sniffles. Imagine a grown man missing work because he has a cold.
I'm almost
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always comment in the YouTube chat. It's entertaining. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
It is entertaining, that's for sure.
Odd question. We'll get into the trade deadline because I know what they're talking about on the TV behind Pledger's head. Tampa Bay, go for 2 in the win or play it the way they did and take your chances in overtime?
Well, I think obviously the way it turned out, they should have gone for 2, right? I mean, we know the ending. Troy Aikman was hammering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night during the broadcast. Yeah, he couldn't believe they weren't going for 2. And I mean, why give Patrick Mahomes the ball back? That's the problem. Why just try to win it right then and there? You had all the momentum at that time.
It is one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. But that's why coaches get all the big money, because if they go for 2 and miss it, then we're screaming, "What the hell are you doing? You don't trust your defense." And the way their defense had played, I didn't mind them. Let's kick the extra point and go play defense, because their defense had been playing well. I wasn't mad at that, although typically on the road, go for the win. At home, you play for overtime. But the way their defense had been playing and seeing Patrick being a little bit gimpy, I didn't mind them playing for overtime. Now, I also have to admit, I needed those overtime yards from Patrick Mahomes to win my fantasy game last night, which I did. So, so I was kind of rooting for overtime as Tampa Bay was driving down the field. I needed that. But at the same time, I wasn't mad at the decision-making process, although Baker Mayfield knew as soon as they lost the coin toss, his day was over.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get the ball back, and he didn't. Mahomes drives the Chiefs right down the field. They score a touchdown, game over. And that was that. But, I don't know. You know, to be a head coach, that's why you make the big bucks. You make those decisions. But to hear Troy Aikman as adamant as he was, it was just fascinating to watch, because he was like, they've got to go for 2. I can't believe they're not going for 2 here. And I get it, because, again, Tampa Bay had all the momentum at that. They had driven themselves right down the field for the game-tying touchdown, or to pull within 1 point at that time. And why not do it? You got a 2-yard play. Why not give it a shot?
Are you kidding? Troy's plane had already started. He was ready to get home.
Yeah, perhaps. But, you know, why not?
I'm with you. It was a pretty crazy game last night. And Tampa Bay played extremely well, but Kansas City is just Kansas City. The idea that Mahomes looked like, I mean, I think all of us probably thought at some point Mahomes' season is over.
Ooh, that was
ACL,
scary.
non-contact, the way it kind of moved, and for him just to turn his ankle, what Andy Reid say, he's got the loosest ankles in the world, or whatever the case is, the fact that that guy came back and played well and won the game is incredible, because it looked like all of his armchair doctors,
he was getting helped off the field.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's fine. It's like, what? It was crazy. And the most disappointed guy, or maybe the most relieved guy in the building, was Carson Wentz. Yeah, he looked at him. You sure you're okay, Patrick? Oh, my goodness. I don't know if Wentz wanted to play or not.
What do you mean? Of course Wentz wanted to play.
Sure. I don't know. Can you imagine having to back up Patrick Mahomes, and then that'd be a tough spot to be in.
You look at, yes. You look, though, at what they talked about in that situation. What Troy and Joe talked about last night when Patrick was hurt and Carson Wentz was warming up. That guy gets zero reps with the first team in practice.
Yeah.
And we sit here and wonder, well, why don't they play Trey Lance this week? How many reps do you think Trey Lance would actually get in practice? Shouldn't they all be going to Cooper Rush?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you listen to Jerry on his radio show today, he said don't rule out seeing both of those guys.
I'm with you.
So I think Trey Lance may get some reps with the first team. Look, Cooper Rush is Cooper Rush. You kind of know what you have there.
Yeah, but he still has to practice.
Well, he's got to practice, but I mean, again, all I'm seeing all over the Cowboys Twitter, the folks that cover the Cowboys, and they're the same way. It's like, why not see what you have? Regular season, Trey Lance, get him in there. Maybe he plays well enough, or you trade him away, get something back for him. But the Cowboys still believe they have a shot. So, and I don't blame them for that, because Cooper Rush, the last time Dak Prescott was hurt, came in and held down the fort and went 4-1.
You know what the Cowboys had the last time Dak got hurt? a defense, and a running game.
Yes, all of those things. They don't have those things now.
I'm going to guess Cooper Rush had a better defense and a better run game when he was at Central Michigan or wherever he's from. It was Central Michigan, right? You get choked up thinking about that.
Yeah, I have no idea where Cooper Rush, and I really don't care
Central
where.
Michigan.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes. You don't remember those great Central Michigan teams?
Yeah, I'll forget that about 5 minutes from now, but that's okay. So, look, I mean, you're going to have to simplify the offense, right, for Cooper Rush. Cooper looked okay when he came in for Dak Prescott. I don't know that the offense is going to be any worse with Cooper Rush under center than it was with Dak Prescott under center. And I mean that sincerely.
That's just your hated Dak Prescott coming through.
It's not a hate of Dak Prescott.
That's just your hated Dak Prescott.
Look,
I love you, Dak.
Dak Prescott, we have a history together.
Do you now? Do you?
I just don't think it's going to be that much worse because I think Mike McCarthy will simplify things where Cooper's going to get the football out quickly, which he should do the same thing with Dak Prescott. With this offense, you get the football out quickly. You maybe he at this point in time tries to establish some sort of running game, or at least let some of those guys try to get into a rhythm. So I think things will be approached differently by the play caller this week, which he should do with number 4.
Well, all of the above is there. I just, Cooper Rush isn't going to be better than Dak Prescott. He wasn't on Sunday. Even statistically, he wasn't on Sunday.
It was pretty damn close.
Well, pretty damn close and better are two very different things.
He scored the same amount of touchdowns as Dak did.
Well,
I mean, I don't. He drove them down the field. I don't want to get in an argument with you about Dak and Cooper Rush. Obviously, one's a backup, one's not. But, I mean, it wasn't that much different when Cooper Rush was under center.
Yeah, they still can't run the ball.
Exactly.
And the ball's coming out in a hurry. They both did score a touchdown in their timeout there. But I just go back, just play in the 2-minute offense the entire game.
Got to do something.
That's really what the Cowboys need to do because that's when they're the best. And they got a brand-new wide receiver in the trade deadline today because that was the biggest need that they needed to address at the trade deadline, apparently, was a freaking wide receiver that nobody gives a damn about, that you overpaid for. You gave up a 4th-round pick for a guy in Jonathan Mingo. Now, they apparently liked him when he was coming out of Ole Miss. He was one of their visits when they, have the 30 guys in to visit. They apparently really liked him. And he went in the 2nd round, and Jerry got him for a 4th. And Jerry's going to sell it that way. Bargain. Mike Williams gets traded from the Jets to the Steelers for a 5th.
DeAndre Hopkins was got for a 5th.
The Bears got a running back, or the Bengals got a running back from the Bears for a 7th today.
Well, they had to, and they addressed a need because Zach Moss got hurt last week.
But again, they addressed a need. This is the Cowboys telling us they don't think they have any issues in the running back room, which they've told us all offseason. Like, they're the people that sit in the Cowboys front office are the only people that think that the Cowboys don't have an issue in their running back room. Yet they rank dead last in every category involving the running backs in the National Football League. And they did not address it. And you could have had Khalil Herbert for a 7th-round pick. Hell, Jerry, you could have had him for a 6th.
And you
if there was a
okay
bidding war,
sure.
You could have had, and knowing Jerry, he would have given up a 4th.
Yeah,
because that's what Jerry does.
Yes.
Trade deadline. Here's my 4th.
Yeah, I don't think he has any other moves to make but a 4th. Look, if Jerry would come out and say, we like this kid, we wanted to draft him, and he's going to be a part of our team for the future. But don't sell it as this guy's going to come in and address a need for you this year. Because if that's what you wanted and that's what you wanted to do, we just mentioned a list of wide receivers you could have gotten cheaper than you got Mingo, and that would have helped you this year right now. Mingo's not going to do that.
The only thing Mingo does this year is if the injury to CD is much more devastating than we've been told to this point. And at the same time, Jerry said this morning on the radio that he was going to get a wide receiver. He also said that CD is likely to play this week.
Yep.
So that theory out the window. This trade, this just tells you as a Cowboy fan, Jerry did something on the day. He didn't take Tuesday off. There was a trade deadline day, and, man, Jerry, he was active. He was all in because Jerry was busy. He made a move. He bought. He didn't sell today because they're not giving up on the season.
And mine might not be the same thing.
You know, you have to believe if you're the Carolina Panthers, a 6th-round pick would have been good enough for a Jonathan Mingo. I mean, honestly.
You got to give them credit.
But
They negotiated and they won.
When Jerry calls you and says, I give you a 4th. Oh, whoa, yes.
No, you think that's how it went? Jonathan Mingo, we got him. What do you want from him? 4th? Okay. What?
Jeez.
I mean.
The Panthers were happy as hell. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They were going to dump the kid anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. It's crazy. It's nuts.
I mean, grading the trade, because everybody grades trades. I don't know. Do you even give the Cowboys a C on that one?
No.
D?
D minus?
D minus. And for the Panthers, an A, because they
absolutely
they fleeced Jerry, which is the F word we can use on the radio.
When I heard 4th-round pick, and I'm like, well, let's see. I remember Jonathan Mingo. Where did I hear from? I had to look him up. And, oh, yeah, Ole Miss. That's right. And he wasn't that great there. And he's done nothing with the Panthers. And then I read that the Panthers were growing tired of him. And so I'm like, oh, okay, 4th-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go.
Now,
my gosh.
The Cowboys do have, I think, 4 or 5 5th-round picks next year. Because they got 3 compensatory picks next year. So they can easily get back into the 4th round, which does lessen the sting of losing a 4th-round pick. Because they got a ton going in the 5th round next year with all those compensatory picks. So I could easily see them devaluing this 4th-round pick for Mingo, knowing that they can get into the 4th round. So they got 4. They got 4 next. You right? Is that right? 4 pledge. Thank you. So they got the regular 5th-round pick and then the 3 compensatory picks next year in the 5th round. So they can easily move into the 4th round next year.
Well, look, and the hope is, if you're a Cowboy fan, Mingo's still a young guy.
Yep.
Maybe he develops into something that the Cowboys a year or 2 from now can use. They've been hoping for Jalen Tolbert to do that.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Uh-huh.
Maybe Mingo is the guy.
Yeah. Tell me how good the Cowboys are at developing wide receivers.
Well,
I mean.
They've had some good wide receivers over the years.
Who? That Mike McCarthy and this staff has developed. You know, outside of a CeeDee Lamb, who was a great talent coming in, there's been a lot of wide receivers that we've been waiting to be the next guy. Now, Michael Gallup was never the same after the injury.
That was the problem,
right?
I think he would have been, though.
I mean, Noah Brown.
Noah Brown wasn't bad.
It wasn't great either. Cedric Wilson. You know, again, guys that aren't bad. You know, I look at Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Kevontae Turpin. I mean, Kevontae Turpin can't catch. He's a hell of a return man, but he should not be playing wide receiver anymore. And maybe that's why they went and got a Mingo, because they realized they can't throw the ball to Turpin anymore. He's good on a jet sweep and on a punt return.
That's it. I mean, I don't think Turpin was brought in here to be a wide receiver. He was brought in to be a returner. And they just they had to. They needed a wide receiver. Oh, my goodness, man.
I mean, they were so bad at wide receiver, and they knew it. They tried Deuce Vaughn at wide receiver in training camp and realized that was a mistake.
Has anybody seen Deuce Vaughn lately? I haven't. I was wondering, is he still with us? I mean,
he's hanging out under a chair. It's fine.
So you mean he's standing up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's over there standing under that bar stool.
Yes. I tell you, you want to sometimes.
It's the Cowboys theme
nuts.
song.
Yeah.
Bang your head.
And I love Jerry Jones. I really do. I love the man. But I tell you, these 2 4th-round trades that he's made just make you scratch your head and bang it against the wall.
What are the Texans up to? Let's talk about it. Indy Kalua joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the HURT app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. You can learn more about the HURT app and the TSAOG Orthopedics Ortho Now Injury Clinic online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs get back to business, but it'll be without Pop. We'll talk about what they need to do.
And we'll talk all the fallout from the NFL trade deadline. Starts at 6. Don't miss it.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay. The place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodities interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at robinhood.com/election.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards, Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Guys, Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while you're watching sports. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You think Dak is going to have higher or lower yards than his stat coming up in this game? You can make money off that opinion at Underdog. Create entries with football, basketball, mix and match. You can do it all. They've even got college sports as well. I've been playing a lot of those college props. I think there is some money to be made in those deals. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at the Spurs. I'm going Wemby to go over on his rebounds. And guys, again, every sport is available on here. It's a blast, and it just makes the games more interesting. This season, they're running a special promo or bonus almost every single day. Profit boost, discounts, free picks. They're basically a sure thing. A player has to get higher than a half a point to get the win. All new users get a free pick. Download the app, sign up with the promo code Alamo, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash cash immediately. That's promo code Alamo. Must be 18 or older. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
I juggle a lot. And managing constipation with belly pain from my irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, with laxatives and fiber isn't enough. My doctor recommended a way to get ahead of it. Then I said yes to Linzess.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
What's on? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Summonix on the NFL trade deadline day. I was just about to hit the button for Indy Kalu, and I see he's not there. Thanks, Blitz. Is he? Maybe? I don't know. Apparently, Indy Kalu may or may not join us. I have no idea. Still don't.
We're working on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and I say we're Pledge.
Well, Pledge is working on it. Yeah. That happens. It happens.
Texans with an interesting week. They don't do anything to help this year's team either. And I thought they might try to make a move to help the offensive line. They don't. C.J. Stroud he got sacked 8 times.
8 times.
And I know Detroit doesn't have Hutchinson, but they've got Detroit this week.
They just got a new rusher, a new pass rusher from Cleveland.
I hope C.J. Stroud can survive the week. Let's talk about it. Indy Kalu joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Texans legend, San Antonio Sports Hall of Famer. Just on a human level, how difficult is a day like today in NFL locker rooms?
With the trades?
Yes.
Oh, no. The reason I was kind of incredulous, the way I answered your question with a question, I guess back in my day, I'm showing my age, they just weren't that, we didn't have that many trades, so it wasn't like cut down day. It wasn't like a big deal. And I'll say this, nowadays from the current players that I still talk to, you get a feel of whether or not you're on the trade block, but it's not as emotional as cut down day that you have before the season because you're still getting paid. You're still playing football, and the thought is you're going to a better opportunity. Now it's a hassle moving, and it's a hassle getting acclimated with a new city in the middle of the season, but it's not near as emotional as cut down day when you get down to the 53-man roster.
Yeah, I was going to say, though, ND, when you look at a guy that the Lions pick up today, defensive end Ladarius Smith from Cleveland, that dude's got to be popping champagne, I would think. I mean, you're going from Cleveland to Detroit and an opportunity to maybe play in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's my point. I'm glad you brought up that specific example. I mean, and Smith is a good pass rusher, so you got a guy who, the quarterback at his previous team was trying to give him massages every day. Now he's going to a team where they actually have a chance to win the Super Bowl, and you're playing for an awesome coaching staff with Coach Campbell, Aaron Glenn, former Jet, former Texan, is the defensive coordinator. But, no, all jokes aside, again, it's a hassle moving. I don't care how much money you have. I know some people are probably rolling their eyes saying, these are $1 million athletes. Yes, that makes it easier, but it is tough to just kind of pick up especially a guy like that with a family, pick up and go to a whole nother city. But he, as far as football and what he's going to be able to accomplish on the field, he has to be pumped up.
Absolutely. Indy Kalu joining us here on the Blitz. Are you surprised, Indy, that Nick Caserio didn't make a move to make this Texans roster better, specifically on the offensive line?
That's the move I thought they were going to make, especially with Kenyon Green, the injury. You know, speaking of Cleveland and getting people out of Cleveland, even though this one player, Joel Bitonio, is a little bit older, he's still a good locker room guy. He's still a guy that I would like to have on my roster when healthy. I would have liked to have seen a move for somebody like that to give them that excitement of playing somewhere where they could truly be contenders and they're still good players. But no, yes, I am somewhat surprised, but this is also still a very conservative team as far as, you know, not making moves just for the sake of making moves.
Well, indeed, that begs the question then, what do you do? Because I don't know if C.J. Stroud can go through another game like he went through against the Jets. Sacked 8 times. The young man was just getting pounded. And I'm afraid if they don't do something or fix the offense where he gets the ball out, whatever the case may be, that he may not be long and sitting on the bench, injury-wise.
Yeah, and he was taking some. I'm with you. And he was taking some hits.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't one of these deals where he's scrambling around and they run him out of bounds for a sack. I mean, you talked about the 8 sacks, and let's count all the other times he was hit as he was letting the ball go. So, no, this is something where the offensive linemen, they need to take some pride in what they're doing and who they're protecting. I've played against some, on paper, pretty bad offensive lines, but when you got a quarterback behind you like a C.J. Stroud, you know, any type of quarterback that you feel like you could win with, you'll be surprised how those guys that aren't that great, they just block a little bit better. And, like, right now, I'm just asking Laramie Tunsil and company, like, do you even know who you're blocking for? Like, this is a guy that can take y'all to the promised land. It's been very concerning watching the lack of performance from the offensive line.
When you think about bad offensive line play, and the 2 NFL teams in Texas both, well, they suck at the offensive line. But at least I feel like Houston's pretty good at run blocking. Dallas can't run block, and they can't really pass block. But how is an offensive line like what you have in Houston good at run blocking but so bad at pass protection?
Good question, and the simple answer is 2 entirely different techniques. It's almost like, you know, saying, why is it? Look, when I played basketball at John Marshall High School, home of the Rams, like, I was a very good rebounder and passer, but I sucked when it came to dribbling. And it's just 2 entirely different techniques. So there are some guys that are very good run blockers because you're moving forward, you're letting your aggression go. But when you have to backpedal and back up and mirror an athletic outside linebacker, athletic defensive end, it's just an entirely different technique. So that could explain it. Maybe they have a bunch of guys who are good at moving forward, but they're not that good at moving backwards.
Well, obviously, ND, it was a tough loss against the Jets, but the Texans have had 10 days, or they will have 10 days off before they have to take on the Detroit Lions, who are the hottest team in the NFL right now and maybe the best team in the NFL right now. What do you see the Texans? Is that a game that, I don't know, if you're a player on the Texans team, you get up for when a team like that comes into your building?
Hell yeah, especially if you want to be the team that everybody expected you to be before the season started and after you lose to a Jets team. When I watched the game with Texas against the Jets, I wasn't overly impressed with the Jets. Like, I wasn't sitting there saying, wow, that's the best 2-6 team in the NFL. They didn't play great. The Texans looked bad. So if you want to get that nasty taste out of your mouth, what do? You beat, just like you said, the hottest team in the NFL and arguably the best team. I still think Kansas City, even though they haven't looked all that great, they're still undefeated. They're still the champions, so I'm still going to give them the nod for being the best team. But if you want to make a statement with the way Jared Goff is playing, you know, Amon-Ra St. Brown with the way he's playing, if you beat a team like Detroit, I don't think anybody's going to be talking about that embarrassing loss to the Jets.
Because when you think about that embarrassing loss to the Jets, your words, and you think about the way they've looked this year, we know Houston is a good team. But are they, and they'll be a playoff team, partly because the AFC South is that bad. but do you think this team is still a legit Super Bowl contending team? Are they in the elite of the AFC?
Yes. Well, and I know it's tough for me to say that after the way they looked against the Jets, but I'm glad you limited it to the AFC. So when I think of the top teams in the AFC off the top of my head, obviously we already talked about Kansas City. Then, I mean, like, I feel like Pittsburgh, Jason, is playing above their heads. And I never really liked that term, and now I'm using it, so shame on me. But, you know, they are what the record says they are. But I feel like Pittsburgh, you know, they have a great coach in Mike Tomlin. Russell Wilson's playing some pretty good ball. They're 6-2, and they're either number one in the AFC North or they're tied with the Ravens. But my point is, like, I'm still comfortable putting Houston in the same tier as the Steelers and maybe the Bills. But in the AFC, the only team that I can say, you know what, they're head and shoulders above Houston right now is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. Again, Patrick Mahomes finds a way to get a win last night when maybe they shouldn't have. He's just he's a pretty amazing dude. Joe Mixon, though, I think is what makes Houston, and I think what may solve that offensive line problem. When I look at it, Indy, and I'm curious to see what you think, the Texans just may have to pound the football against Detroit this week and keep that offense off the field.
No, absolutely. And look, to keep the Detroit offense off the field, and to keep C.J. Stroud upright, you know, you don't want him dropping back 25 times until the offensive line shows that they're able to protect him. So, no, I'm 100% with you. And Joe Mixon, it's funny because when he was hurt, when he was out, you talk about how the Houston Texans are good at run blocking, but they're bad at pass blocking. When he was out, they were just bad, period, because there weren't any guys picking up big yards. So this goes to show how good and productive of a back Joe Mixon is, because every time he's in the lineup, I think he's had 100 yards plus every game. Don't quote me on that. I have to double check, but he's been very productive. So I don't even know if this offensive line is that great when it comes to run blocking, or he's just showing to be that great of a running back right now.
Well, he's getting it done. And again, judging by last game, one of your favorite positions, the kicker missed two. Right after you gave him all that credit, he goes out and he misses two in a game. Now, Nick Caserio wasn't completely moveless today. The Texans did trade Khalil Davis to the 49ers to get a 7th-round pick in 26. With that, there's no 94 on the Texans roster anymore. Are you offended by that? Or do you celebrate that?
No. I'm offended because that was my guy. You know, Khalil Davis, we had a couple of production meetings, and, you know, I felt like there was a rapport there. And now that he's gone, you know, that's one less current player that I can say, you know what, that's my guy. So that kind of hurts, but I do feel like D'Amico did him a solid. Obviously, D'Amico knows the coaching staff of the 49ers. I would bet my bottom dollar that D'Amico called them, which most coaches won't do or don't have to do, and say, hey, take care of my guy. He's a good one. So I'm happy for him. But, yeah, I'm a little upset that my guy Khalil Davis is gone.
Well, the jersey, 94, I mean, are they going to retire that thing now, you think? Nobody's wearing it.
Yeah, they weren't wearing it before because of the stink that I may have left on it. But, you know, Khalil Davis was brave enough to put it on. So, no, but if they retire it, unfortunately, it'll be because of Antonio Smith, the black ninja, who wore it after I did.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of the 94 club with the Houston Texans, and Antonio is the only other one I could think of. That dude was funny. I remember he used to come on the show with us every week back in the day. That guy, he's funny.
Oh, he's funny. He's a fool. Like, you would appreciate this. He's living on like hundreds of acres in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. You just talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and like he tells me about all the cattle and, you know, day in the life of Antonio Smith now and rustling a bunch of cattle. But no, he's fun to talk to, and he's still just as intense as he was when he was playing.
All right, Indy, let's go around the league, and we'll talk about your other favorite Texas team. Would you have given up a 4th-round pick for Jonathan Mingo?
No. Hold on. Let me ask you this. Do you know who Jonathan Mingo is?
No, I know he's okay, to be honest. Look, I was about to try to present myself in a way that's not honest. I only knew who he was after they traded for him, and I read up on him. So.
Same with us.
Same.
Yeah, and what I read wasn't all that great.
No,
it wasn't that good.
Yeah, so I don't know what they saw on film, but look, Dallas and Houston, they need to upgrade in multiple position groups. So if this is an upgrade, and I emphasize if, then I'm okay giving away a 4th round pick because you could easily get that back during the draft.
Indy, I want to ask you a serious question, and not trying to be total jackassery about it, but you played on some pretty bad teams in your career. And when you think about when you know you don't have a chance at winning a Super Bowl, what's the mindset week in and week out about doing your job? Because that's where the Cowboys are right now. Now, I know their expectations were higher, but they're just not that good of a football team. And with Dak likely going to the IR, how does a team, a bad team, and there's a lot of 2-win teams in the NFL this year, just go about their business every week to be competitive?
You could always bring up my times with bad teams because it gives I have a different perspective. I've been on teams that were so bad. Mainly the year I was in Washington, and we started off like 1-11 or 2-10. That this Cowboy team being 3-5, would have been welcomed at that time. And I say that to say, I know this sounds crazy, but most current players are detached from reality in a positive way. And what I'm saying and what I'm leading up to, you'll be surprised at how many players on that Cowboy roster right now still think they have a chance of getting on this crazy run and sneaking into the playoffs as a wild card. So until you're mathematically out of it, a lot of players, they're so detached from reality, they think they can do anything, which is why they're playing at the utmost highest level, that there's some guys on that roster that probably think they can still get in. But I've been to the point where it was like, okay, we're not going to the playoffs. Then you're just playing for good film. So you still have motivation. You still have a reason to go out there and try to put good things on film because this is the NFL. Like literally every week somebody's trying to take your job. So it's just inherent that you're going to go out there and play. Like guys aren't going to go out there except for maybe the huge money guys, the guys that no matter what happens, their position is not going to be challenged. But most guys are still going to go out there to either put good film out there so when the off season hits, it makes them that much more money as they become free agents, or because they know that, hey, as bad as we were, Jerry Jones is going to do any and everything he can in the offseason to replace as many of us as he can. So, okay, let me ask y'all, who's the starting running back for the Cowboys right now?
Rico Dowdle.
Okay, has he done anything in his career to say that he's a solidified starter in the NFL?
No.
Obviously, the answer is no. So every time he touches that rock, he's going to be trying to prove that he should be a starter in the NFL.
75 yards last week, Indy. I think that was his career best.
Well, no, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, he
game.
had more than 75?
Yeah. Yeah. But
See,
and again, the Cowboys
my Cowboy fan over there,
the Cowboys have kept him around a while. They like him, but he's not an RB1. And obviously, Dalvin Cook and Zeke Elliott were mistakes and the Cowboys at the trade deadline get a wide receiver. Go figure.
Yeah, I'm still blown away at what they did with the running back position before the season even started. What about Deuce Vaughn? Is he still on the roster?
He is. He's standing under a bar stool over there in the in the cafeteria.
Look, I'm saying Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn should be your 1 and 2 because those two guys, at least they're going to be running for their careers. Ezekiel Elliott, he's made enough money. He's probably just, counting his dollars and waiting for a retirement. But those two guys, this is the time you start playing those guys that are actually playing for something.
Well, Deuce Vaughn, I'm just afraid he's going to get killed every time he runs the football. I mean, he's 3'5". It's tough.
But he's so shifty. He's so shifty. Like you rarely get clean shots on him.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a few shots.
Indy Kalu, yeah, Vaca. Indy Kalu joining us here on the Blitz. Always fun catching up, man.
Man, y'all enjoy this week, and hopefully the Cowboys, Cooper Rush-led Cowboys, turn this thing around.
Well, all right,
Trey Lance.
Real quick, would you go with Trey Lance at this point if you're the Cowboys, or is it in your mind you still want the quarterback that gives you the best chance to win because you're saying there's a chance?
I 100% go with Trey Lance. Like Cooper Rush, he's the guy, in my opinion. If he doesn't take another snap this year, you bring him back next year for depth. With Trey Lance, I want to see if I can tap into that quote unquote first round talent to see if something's there. And I don't think you could determine that in 1 or 2 games. So I just give him the keys for the rest of the season and see what happens.
Interesting. I agree with that.
I agree with that 100%. Former Marshall Ram, the Rams 3-6 on the year. They close it out against Stevens this week, Indy.
Wow. 3-6. Wow.
2-5 in district.
I'm just gonna have to go watch some old 1991 Marshall highlights to get that back.
Hey man, they're coming off a 10-point win over Holmes last week. That's all that matters to you guys.
I could dig that. If they beat the Huskies, I'm okay with that.
There you go. Indy, have a great week, man. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Y'all too. Good talking to y'all.
Good stuff. Indy Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Stevens Roofing. Been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time now. I'm very proud to do so. Family-owned company, local company. And you know your roof covers your home. It covers your family. Everything that you hold dear. You got to have a reliable roofer, a roofer you can trust. That is Stevens Roofing. It doesn't matter what kind of project it is. You got a commercial building that needs a roof? Stevens Roofing can do that. You want a metal roof on your house? Stevens Roofing can do that. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call them, 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and just about everybody else on the planet, you want to save some money these days, if you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing has you covered there as well. Solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They often increase the value of your home. There are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. That's important these days. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call that local company that's been trusted for decades. That is Stevens Roofing. 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered, so give them a call, 210-785-0994.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Settling in after 2 on the road. The Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is home cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
JCPenney has more gifts, bigger savings for every holiday wish list. Celebrate the season that never stops giving. From denim to diamonds, PJs to perfume, and mixers to massagers, we're giving you more options than ever at a value that helps you give a little extra. Looking for more bright ideas? We've got the big brands everyone wants. From Levi's to Legos, there's more to love for them and you. All the deals, all the feels, all the gifts to go around. JCPenney. Make it count.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Veterans Day sale, save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery with any base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first and buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. Country boy is all I'll ever be. The American As It Gets Tour. February 6th, Majestic Theater. Am I the only one? Tickets on sale now at majesticempire.com. Take a bullet for being more free. At aaronlewismusic.com. I'm American as it gets. Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. American As It Gets Tour.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NFL trade deadline has come and gone. Cowboys did make a move today before the deadline, trading a 2025 fourth-round pick to the Carolina Panthers for wide receiver Jonathan Mingo, a former second-round pick out of Mississippi. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said on his radio show, 105.3 The Fan, this morning that quarterback Dak Prescott most likely is headed to IR with a hamstring injury he suffered in Sunday's loss to the Falcons.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Tuesday afternoon, trade deadline has come and gone. College football playoff ranking deal is going to be revealed later.
When is that happening? Tonight?
Yeah, I think 6 or 7. I mean, when you go home, there's nothing else on television, so you might as well,
there's nothing
watch
going on today.
Heather Dinich and Paul Feinbaum break down stuff that's going to completely change between now and, I don't know, middle of December, but it's our first look at it.
Well, yeah, it is, and it will be interesting to see where everybody falls and how that happens. Huge game this weekend, though, that could change everything with Georgia going to Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of it, and again, I like that it's November and we're getting rankings. I don't like them early on in the in the year.
Yeah.
So at least with the playoffs, they wait, but I won't consume a lot of it because I know it's going to change. Although for a lot of us, it might be a solid distraction from everything else that's going to be going on tonight, although watching the chaos could be a lot of fun if there is chaos.
There could be. Who
and
knows?
There probably will be.
Of course, it is Election Day. Everybody knows that. I hope you all went out and voted.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Go out and vote if you haven't done that. Just make your voice be heard.
That's it.
That's it. Go vote.
Go vote.
Went, damn near 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Didn't plan to go together.
We do everything together.
But
planned or not.
I was in line, and somebody insulted me in the back, and I had to turn around and said, oh, okay, it's just you.
Yeah. Now, how did somebody insult you?
Well, you said that's an ugly elbow.
Yes. I might have said that with some other words in there.
Yeah. There may have been an F-bomb in there somewhere.
May have been.
Might have been.
Probably.
But that's all right.
Well, and it was bizarre because we ended up at the same polling location with no plans of, hey, we were just out doing our Saturday morning errands. And I get in the line and, didn't even realize that was Joe in front of me. Had his hat on, his shades. He didn't want to be recognized
That's
at all.
Right.
And then he's sitting there on his phone, and then he put his arm down in that elbow. And I'm like, good Lord, that's one ugly-ass elbow.
Yeah,
hey, turn around, and there's Joe.
It really is. See, I got to go see our friends at TSAOG tomorrow.
Oh, you get
for a
finally.
little physical therapy. No, I saw them, but they called me back. They want a little physical therapy. Maybe they're going to drain it or do whatever they're going to do to it. But
dude, that elbow. Show the people that are watching on YouTube right now.
I think a lot of people have seen it, but if you haven't, there's a big.
It's kind of hard to tell
big
from
knot on my elbow. Which
from
way?
that angle.
This way. Yeah, that way.
Dude, 25 years in TV, and you don't know how to perform in front of a camera.
Well, I've never showed my elbow on TV like that.
Glad you said elbow. Yeah.
Or anything else. Look, I was young and I needed the money. All right.
I mean, last week it was your feet. This week it's your elbow.
That's right.
Exactly.
Either or could possibly make me some extra money. Who
Dude,
knows?
You could make some money on that pimple popper show.
Maybe. Although that's not a pimple.
No, but
that is
you could pop it like a pimple.
Well, maybe they're going to do that tomorrow. I leave that to the experts, Minix. I'm not doing it myself. I don't like needles.
No.
Don't like it.
But they're just, they could drain that thing.
Oh, well, if that's what they want to do, then they're more than welcome to do it.
They'll probably get 8 gallons of pus out of your elbow.
You think? No, that's not pus.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's fluid.
It's some sort of fluid, so if it's coming out of your body, let's just call it pus.
Well, it could be that. Look,
what else do you think it is?
When I went and saw the fine folks at TSAOG, what was it, about 3 weeks ago now, there was no word of draining anything. I got a tendon in my tricep that's strained, and this is a symptom of it. That's exactly what she said.
Okay.
So I'm going exactly with the expert. So tomorrow, little physical therapy. We'll see what they want to do.
Well, it hasn't changed at all.
It hasn't, and I haven't been.
Which is why you need to go.
I was told not to do tricep exercises. I haven't done that.
Yeah, it's noticeable.
So
you've been also told to wear a sleeve the entire time, and you haven't done that.
Well, that's only because there's a pad, and I'm not putting my elbow on a table.
So the compression wouldn't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, so don't say that you've done everything they've told you to do because that would be a lie.
I've done 99% of everything they've told me to do.
Yeah, but the compression was probably of high importance.
No compression. It was a pad because she doesn't want me putting my elbow in there. You know when you lean on your elbow? And so I don't do that.
Yeah.
I follow instructions.
Mm-hmm.
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 Vince Trevino on our YouTube channel wants to see my feet again. See that? I mean, it was a big hit.
That's not real.
It's not real.
Actually, he does say, let's see that toe.
Now, you see, I love everybody thinks they're a medical expert on our YouTube page. Art Garcia says it's a bursa sac. I did not hear one word like that when I was in front of the doctor of a bursa sac. Nobody talking about sacks. Nobody. Love you, Art, but I don't know if that's what it is. Maybe it is.
It might be. It could be. I think one of the docs did say that at one point.
One of the docs did.
Although the doctors are very nice, whether you're at TSOG or anywhere else. When you go in, they try not to use big words that are over your head. They want to talk where you can understand it, which is why maybe you didn't hear that term.
Well, I understand the word sack.
Again, and in this case, they're not trying to be in the 5th grade.
It doesn't.
You had a good female doctor, so she wasn't going to use that terminology with you, and especially if she listened to this show, she just wanted to keep it at your level.
Well, I don't blame her.
Yes.
She knew who she was dealing with.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, it was a very fine visit, and went pretty quick, and got some questions answered. It was good.
So a bursa sac is a thin, fluid-filled sac that acts as a cushion to reduce friction between bones and the surrounding soft tissues, tendons, and muscles.
Uh-huh.
You have 150 of them, over 150 of them, in your body, in areas around your shoulders, your elbows, your hips, knees, heels, and big toes.
Now, I do have a couple of bone spurs floating around in there. I saw that on the x-ray. That was pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
Because they x-rayed the elbow.
Did they use the term bursitis?
No,
All
no.
right.
I didn't hear that at all.
What did you hear?
I heard that
I
have a sprained tendon.
You heard you don't have to drain it, and you're not going to cut it off. All right, I'm good. You want me to wear this elbow pad? Cool, I won't do that. But thanks.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, if this thing bothered me, if it hurt, I'd be more like, okay, let's do something. But it doesn't hurt, and I can do everything that I need to be doing.
We're relying on Joe's listening skills?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Josh is right. It's just fluid from a Yingling flight. There's so much in there, it's just found other places to go.
That could very well be the case. Yeah, there's no
Body
question.
by flight.
Yes.
Joe Reinagel.
That could very well be the case. But yeah, I'm trying to do what they tell me to do. I don't like going to the doctor. And you should. If you got a problem, then you should. But I'm one of those that kind of puts it off.
I'm definitely that.
Yeah. So I finally went, and I'm following the rules.
Eric Garza with the comment of the day on YouTube. 8 gallons of pus is exactly how I would describe how Dak has been playing this year.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say that.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Well said, Eric Garza.
Wow. That's even rougher than I've been on Dak.
I mean, this whole season has been 8 gallons of pus for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, pretty much. Well said, my friend.
My goodness. The Spurs are 8 gallons of pus in the second quarter last night. Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First, I want to tell you about my great Connecticut quality water softener. Love the one that is in my house. It is fantastic. It is a game changer for everything that you use water for, whether that's laundry, dishes, cooking, shower, whatever it is, doesn't matter. A Connecticut quality water softener makes a huge difference. I didn't think it would. I'll be totally honest with you. I think one water softener is as good as the other. But when I put this one in, it makes a difference. You can see it. You can taste it. It's just fantastic. You can feel it. It's unbelievable. Connecticut is the most popular water softener on the market. They've been serving San Antonio and South Texas for over 50 years. And the best part about it is you don't plug it in. There's no electricity that this thing runs on. It runs on that kinetic energy, and it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now, Connecticut has got one heck of a deal. For a limited time, when you purchase a new Connecticut quality water softener, you're going to get a osmosis drinking station installed at your kitchen sink for free. That's right, purified water right at your kitchen sink. No need to buy bottled water ever again. It's perfect for cooking, your coffee, your tea. It is just fantastic. Outstanding warranty coverage. In fact, the best in the business. Connecticut stands behind its products. Financing is available. They also have a rental program if you'd like to do that. All you have to do is get the process started. And to do that, you give them a call. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle? Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have to ask the sun. At some point, is that ever going to be addressed? Talking about it. In the stadium, the 325 sundial effect. It just seems something that we can fix. Let's put some curtains up.
Okay. Noted.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-290-0239. 800-290-0239. Again, that's 800-290-0239. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined, as always, by my co-anchor, Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2, at T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance our required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now, get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
The Morning Huddle.
It's most of that is mead.
See? So you didn't just talk your way out of this. You just made it exactly what I thought. You've got mead?
Yeah, I love mead.
What the hell is mead? I thought isn't that what they gave?
Yeah.
Didn't Christ get that at the
That was just wine, I think.
That was frankincense?
No, I don't think they brought mead.
Oh.
I don't think the wise men brought mead to the baby.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's get wild.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
Howdy. How many of you stayed up late last night to watch the Spurs? More power to you. I fell asleep.
Well, I watched the first half and then a little bit of the third quarter. What a difference. And I guess it's just something we're going to have to live with, the inconsistency of this team, because they come out in that first quarter, man, and
it was incredible.
They could have beaten anybody. And then the second quarter was just the complete opposite. It was like horrible.
You wonder how you score when you just look at the score by quarter. They outscored the Clippers 40-14 in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching both, kind of going back and forth. The football game was so good. It was like, all right, well, Spurs are just going to kill these guys. And the Chiefs game was going to overtime. Then you come back, and the Clippers outscored the Spurs 34-16 in the second quarter. And admittedly, I didn't see much of that second quarter because I was watching football thinking the basketball game was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter,
it was not good either.
Yeah, I was long gone by then. But, I mean, they get outscored 31-18.
Just the inconsistency, I think, of this young team is what we're going to have to deal with. Chris Paul was great in that. Everybody was good in that first quarter. Everybody was good. But then, boy, Wemby did not shoot the ball well last night. He takes 22 shots, makes 9 of them. I don't know. Who's going to step up for this team other than Victor Wembanyama? Chris Paul did last night in the first quarter. Other than that, Julian Champagnie had a pretty decent ball game overall, but they're just inconsistent right now.
It really is one of those games because they did have a big lead. You look at the box score and you have no idea other than they were MIA in the second quarter, and they had the big lead. Wemby talked about playing with big leads that get away.
Of course, it's a matter. I think when we get a lead like this, we don't need to take as many risks. It's a matter of going back to our basics and knowing what our basics are. It comes with, of course, experience and time spent together, on the court. So they have that edge on us in terms of experience and knowing how to handle this type of situations.
That's an interesting comment. They have an edge on us in experience. Okay, I guess so. But when you've got a 26-point lead, and this is a guy, Chris Paul's got to go to everybody and say, look, it's only at the end of the first quarter. There's a lot of basketball to play. Let's keep playing. And obviously that didn't happen.
Clearly, and again, I mean, I know they're dealing with a coaching situation, and it's not Pop, but you got a 26-point lead and blow it. You got to blame some of that on the coaching. I mean, at some point, you've got to make the right move to stop the bleeding. And even CP3, I mean, he's the old guy in the room.
He is.
And you just got to continue to teach these young guys.
I say in any of these situations you go into, you got to show guys that you can hoop. I don't go in there trying to be nobody's coach, nobody's daddy, none of it. First and foremost, I hoop. You know what I mean? And so you have to ask them guys what it's like. Seriously. Like, you can't tell somebody, they want to see it. Like the younger generation, like a lot of them, Vic even said he don't remember me from New Orleans. He only saw me play when I was with the Clippers, and I don't know how old he was. So all that, what they used to do, what they do, they want to see what you do now, right? So that's why I train and I work the way that I work, because you can tell them all you want to tell them, but they want to see it. So any advice to anybody is you better show them what you can do if you're going to try to teach them something. And so once you accept that you have to show up every day, right? It's not about what you did in the last game, what you did last year. You got to show up every day.
I'm not worried about Chris Paul showing up. He's going to show up every day. That's just who Chris Paul is. So that's not an issue. But the inconsistency we're going to have to deal with, and I just think that's going to be part of the season. Can it be can they overcome that and be more consistent as the season goes on? That's the big question.
Well, and again, three-point shooting is going to be an issue for this team because they just don't have good three-point shooters. Vic last night 2 of 9 from 3. Chris Paul 2 of 7 from 3-point range as a team. The Spurs 11 of 41, where the Clippers were 19 of 37. And Chris Paul, as long as he's been playing and as talented as he is, he's never played with anybody like Victor, and he's still trying to figure out how to play with Wemby.
We're figuring it out. Both of us didn't play with so many preseason games. You guys has been around a long time, know that preseason is a lot shorter. Training camp used to be a month long, right? So we sort of figuring it out as we go. The league changes, traditional bigs, switching 1 through 5. He never played with probably a guard like me, you know what I mean, who's constantly, doing different things. So I've never played for a center that I set screens for. You know what I mean? So it's different.
Yeah, much different. And look, they did lose Jeremy Sohan last night to a thumb injury. He only played 12 minutes. So that hurt too. But still, this team has got to come together. They got a bunch of young kids. We got to remember that. This is still a very young team, even though Chris Paul helps to raise the average a little bit, but it's still a very young team.
Yeah, well, and again, young team, ups and downs. You kind of felt like last night was a winnable game.
It was.
For the San Antonio Spurs.
It was.
And in the first quarter, man, you were feeling really good about that being a winnable game for the San Antonio Spurs. And if you went to bed before that thing ended and woke up this morning and saw that they lost, you just shake your head going, how?
Yeah.
How? Although we know how. We've seen too much of that lately. Now, as far as any update on Greg Popovich, we still don't have one from the San Antonio Spurs. There is nothing official from the San Antonio Spurs, but there is various reporting out there about the severity, which seems like this is very serious. Earlier today, Sham Charania on ESPN's NBA Today. This was about 2:30 this afternoon.
Malik, I'm told that it was a health issue, and it was a serious health issue that the Spurs dealt with and Greg Popovich dealt with over the weekend. It was a situation on Saturday night pregame that Greg Popovich needed medical attention in San Antonio. It is still uncertain when he's going to make it back on the floor, on the sidelines for this team. There is a great level of concern around the situation for the Spurs, for Greg Popovich. In the meantime, assistant coach Mitch Johnson has stepped in as the acting interim head coach. He's a rising head coach in this league. Malik, I'm told he was a finalist for the Washington Wizards head coaching job a season ago in the offseason that went to Brian Keefe. And so this is something that the Spurs are very well regarded with. They know how important he is, how valuable he is, and he will be at the helm for the foreseeable future.
Interesting. And when Shams talks about a serious health issue on Saturday night, I mean, you can only speculate, but you have to figure that, I mean, there's only a couple of things you think about when you're talking about a 75-year-old man and a serious health issue on pregame Saturday night.
That needed medical attention immediately,
exactly.
Right? It sounds Saturday night kind of felt like he just wasn't feeling well.
Right.
And now it seems like it is something much more serious than that. Indefinite is the key word there because we know from the Spurs he didn't coach last night and he won't coach tomorrow in Houston. But listening to Shams, the foreseeable future. Now, that could be almost anything. And the Spurs are being more close to the vest, tight-lipped on this than most things. And for them to be even more secure with information getting out seems a little bit more interesting. None of the reporters that were in Los Angeles last night that cover the Spurs, whether you're talking about a Mike Finger or Jeff McDonald from the Express News or Michael C. Wright, nobody seems to have any more information than what we already know. Mike Finger's got a great column today in the Express News that's about Mitch Johnson and trying to keep things as normal as possible, including the let's go have dinner mantra. The bus left last night, 10:45. Nobody was late for the bus because they were going to go have dinner at a Pop-approved restaurant. Guessing somebody had Pop's credit card because he pays. But when you listen to Mitch Johnson talking before the game, you tell me, when you listen to this, does this seem a lot more serious than what the Spurs have kind of led on?
Just want to start off by saying Pop's impact on our organization, from the players that he's coached and the staff that's worked with him in the community of San Antonio, it's hard to articulate or put into words. And if I try to probably put them into words, it would not do it justice. He's been tremendous for me personally, and right now his health is the number one priority, and we support him in that 100%. And I talked to him last night. He's in good spirits. He'll be okay. He is okay, and we can't wait to have him back.
I mean, that starts out very dark.
Yes.
And ominous, right?
Grave,
I mean, it
right?
does. It sounds
Yeah.
like, Pop was great. It's almost like he's talking in the.
Yeah, or, it's a grave situation.
Absolutely. So he does finish it on a high note where he's okay, and we look forward to having him back. But, yeah, and it's unfortunate that we have to speculate on this because everybody cares about Greg Popovich. They want to know that he's okay. But obviously, for whatever reason, we're getting no information. But it sounds like it was a serious incident that happened Saturday night before the game, and Pop's recovering from it.
Maybe after the game Wednesday in Houston or between now and then, if something happens Saturday by today, Tuesday, tomorrow, Wednesday, the doctors and Pop and whoever else is involved will have a better idea of when they expect him to return, first couple days. All right, let's see how things are going. I like the fact that Mitch said that he talked to him on the phone, so at least then you could take out is he able to talk? Does he, I hate speculating, but clearly he's able to talk. There's not like a breathing tube or anything involved here, so and with the lack of information, it leads everybody to jump to a variety of conclusions. So maybe before Wednesday's game or shortly after Wednesday's game, they'll give us a little bit more of a honest timetable of his return. Whether they give us any details on what he's actually dealing with remains to be seen.
Well, the main thing is I hope he's okay. He makes a full recovery and gets back on the bench sooner rather than later. But it would be nice to know a little bit more about how he's doing other than he's okay. And maybe that's all they think we need to know at this point in time.
And in reality, all right, he's going to be okay.
If that's the case, then great. I'm happy about it.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The Dallas Cowboys got a lot of needs, and they traded for a wide receiver today. Jerry also says Dak likely headed to the IR. We'll get into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You like watching sports and you're watching the game, want to make money while you're watching those games? Do like me and over 5 million other happy players have done, and download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing the Pick'em game, which is a ton of fun to play, where you pick based on a higher or lower on player stats like passing yards, touchdowns, three-pointers, assists, rebounds, double-doubles. It's a lot of fun to play. They've got all the sports out there, and you think about tonight, no NBA games tonight, that's fine. There's some basketball games in college. There's NHL. You can play tonight. Football, obviously, is going on, and this season, Underdog is running a special, a promo, or a bonus almost every single day like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries, discounts, where you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at getting the win, and free picks. They're basically a sure thing, where a player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users also get a free pick. Download the Underdog Fantasy app now. Sign up with my promo code STAR and deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs get back to business, but it'll be without Pop. We'll talk about what they need to do.
And we'll talk all the fallout from the NFL trade deadline. Starts at 6. Don't miss it.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. Country boy is all I'll ever be. The American As It Gets Tour. February 6th, Majestic Theater. Am I the only one? Tickets on sale now at majesticempire.com. Take a bullet for being more free at aaronlewismusic.com. I'm American as it gets. Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. American As It Gets Tour.
ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises too. I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with the new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there? Taking bribes? Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. A little behind the scenes. We're in there talking about dinner tonight. Let's go by Tri-County and grab some steaks, grill up some steaks tonight, and watch the, whatever's going to happen, right? Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm anticipating chaos.
Can I just say, Daylight savings time sucks.
Here we go.
It's got to be the worst. And you talk about, it's election day. Politicians change this damn thing. There is no need for daylight savings time ever. There's no need for it. Why in the hell do we still have daylight savings time?
Farmers?
For what?
I don't know. I'm with you. I hate it. I hate walking out of this studio and it's dark.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
I want more daylight. I like what we just had. Think about this though. Those people on the East Coast, it's dark like at 3:30.
I know.
I mean, when we go to the Army-Navy game this year, it's in D.C. It's dark at like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
How ridiculous is that?
It's dumb.
It's just the dumbest thing.
I'm not a fan, haven't been a fan, and I can tell you, for all you politicians out there, I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican. If you're saying we're going to make this go away and give me legalized sports betting, you've got my vote. I don't care what red, blue, doesn't matter. That's what's important to me. That way, I mean, tell me that's going to happen. I'm down.
Amen.
I don't care.
I'm with you.
But I'm with you, and get rid of this daylight savings. The only, I don't even really know if I call this a benefit, is my daughter, who lives in Phoenix, is now just an hour behind us as opposed to 2. But because in the great state of Arizona, they don't ever change their time.
I think there's just 2 states, right? Is it Arizona and Hawaii?
Maybe.
I don't know. There's not many states, but I know that those 2 don't do it. But, I mean, it's ridiculous. Just get rid of it. It's just dumb.
But we got to get rid of it the right way.
What's the right way?
What we had last week.
Well, I agree.
Whatever that is, where it gets dark after 8 o'clock at night.
So we spring forward.
Yes.
In March, I think.
Whichever that one is.
Leave it alone after that.
I spring forward and stay sprung.
Yes. It's just the dumbest thing.
And all of you
ever.
people that have pets, they don't realize the time change,
No.
so they're now waking you up earlier to go
are.
pee.
Yes.
And to eat. I was talking about that with my mother last night.
That's good. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Because her dog does not realize things have changed.
Well,
and honestly, I think everybody's kind of in a bad mood, a little bit grumpy and tired, has a headache because of the time change.
It's just dumb.
Dumb.
I mean, look, I appreciate the extra hour of sleep like anybody else.
Did
but
you get an extra
No,
hour?
I really didn't, because I
good.
woke up at the same damn time I wake up all the time.
Because
it was
your
only
dog.
an hour. No, it was an hour earlier. So normally, say you wake up at 7:30 during a regular time. I woke up at 6:30, thinking my body's thinking it's 7:30. Now I was a little drunk Saturday night when I went to bed, so I slept a little better.
Wait. So you woke up at 6:30 after a night of drinking on a Saturday?
Yes.
You wake up at 6:30 regardless?
Sometimes, yeah. I just pop up.
Well, most of us wake up that way.
Well, if you're lucky.
Well, what do you mean?
I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. Can we just get rid of it?
Mm-hmm.
I was in Eagle Pass this weekend, and so having a good time at Kickapoo. Is it Kickapoo or is it Lucky Eagle?
Well, it's Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Resort.
Casino.
Yes.
There's no resort.
Or casino.
Yeah.
Whatever. Kickapoo and Lucky Eagle, same thing.
Had a great time.
It's
Either way.
Kickapoo unless you've gotten lucky.
Yeah. Well, there are road wins.
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Thank you, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, Mike. Appreciate it. Were you there, Mike?
He's studying the tape, trying to get better.
Exactly. Wow. Just get rid of this thing. And Ben Brasino on YouTube saying this is the normal time. Fine.
No, this is not fine. I
It
like
is
the other
fine.
kind. I like the other kind.
I don't care. Just make it one way and just leave it alone.
No, I like the other kind. I like the spring forward. I like having as much daylight at night as possible. As a guy that doesn't wake up early in the morning, the only time I see a sunrise is if I'm on my way to the airport.
Well, see, you're selfish.
I am selfish because it's all about me.
Well, of course, but I will tell you, and the benefit of where we are right now is it gets light earlier, so the kids, walk into the little bus stop or whatever they're doing in the morning for school. They're not doing that in the dark anymore.
They're fine doing it in the dark until we change, so they could stay doing that in the dark.
Well, I'm okay with it too, but I'm just saying that's the one benefit.
Well,
I don't give a damn anymore.
Is that really a benefit?
Well, not to me. I don't give a damn
well,
anymore. I don't have kids
say,
that I got to walk to the bus stop anymore.
Grandpa, do you want your grandson walking to the school bus in the dark?
It's not my problem. He's got a mom and dad.
School buses have lights, right?
They do.
There's street lights everywhere you go, right?
There is.
They're fine.
Uh-huh. Well, we need to get rid of it. We really do. Whatever you want to do, you want the spring forward, fine.
I want the spring forward.
Well, just somebody needs to get rid of that. I'm tired of politicians talking about it. They're always talking about it. Oh, yeah. And then they don't do anything about it. Do something about it.
See, then you have people that just don't understand a conversation. Renee G. Rudolph is a good dude, but sometimes he just wants to troll to be a troll. Nobody is saying have the United States in the same time zone all across the country. That's not what anybody is saying. It's just do away with this daylight savings. Time zones are a part of things. So that you've got your central zone and your East Coast time. You understand how that works. That's a completely different conversation. It's a completely different conversation. Renee is much smarter than that comment there. I think he's just trying to be a troll.
Yeah, I think he is too. We're just talking about getting rid of daylight savings time, Renee. That's it. It needs to go. It's a dinosaur. It's gone. Needs to be gone.
Although in reality, the central time zone is the best.
No, there's no question.
I mean, it really is the best. You could argue East, although you're in the Eastern time zone. You get games that start at 8 o'clock at night. They're not over until almost midnight.
I wouldn't want to live in the East.
On the West, Monday Night Football kicks off at 5. Most people aren't home from work yet. You could make an argument for the Mountain time zone, but I prefer Central. I like, our primetime TV stuff starts at 7 o'clock.
I like that
not
too.
8. Right?
Although on a Sunday, I wouldn't mind being on the West Coast. Games start at 10 o'clock.
I'm
That's
with you.
kind of cool.
Except for they're over at 8 o'clock at night. The games have all ended.
And then you still got time to, watch whatever.
What are you going to watch?
I don't know.
The post-game show? I mean, that's it. I mean, you can watch Desperate Housewives reruns or something after the game. I have no idea what's on regular television anymore. It's been so long. but I mean, you're right. But when you're on the West Coast and games are starting at 10 a.m. and you go to the bar and you go do that, this week, who do we get treated with over there?
Germany with nice Giants Panthers.
Yes,
yeah.
Punishment.
Woo!
The punishment game.
Yeah. We hate the Germans, I guess.
I mean, you're getting
sending our best over there.
You're getting up at 6 a.m. to watch games.
That didn't start.
If you're on the West Coast, if it's starting at 8 o'clock here.
Well, I don't give a damn. Honestly, I don't give a damn.
You just said if you lived on the West Coast, you would want that.
Well, on a Sunday, that's the only time. But I can deal with it.
The international game is on Sunday.
Right. 3 times a year?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm good. I like the Central Time Zone. I'll keep that.
Renee says Joe's just going to go watch Matlock.
Yeah, what's wrong with Matlock?
Are you talking about the original Matlock or the new version with the lady in it?
I haven't seen the new version. Have you?
I watched the one episode when we were talking about it.
Uh-huh.
So I did go back and watch it.
No, I like old Andy.
That doesn't surprise anybody.
Oh, Andy. He was good. You ever watch Andy Griffith?
Of course.
With Barney?
Who hasn't?
I mean, I do it now. I find it.
Do you really?
Yeah, absolutely. TV Land or whatever the hell that is. What's that called?
They still have that?
Yes. Dude, they show because it's popular, obviously.
Well, no,
Barney may have been the funniest human alive.
At this point, it's free. There's nobody in there getting a royalty check. They've all died, so it's free television.
Well, it is free. I don't have to pay for it.
Well, no, but even the actors, I mean, whoever owns those, they don't have to pay anybody for them now because nobody's still alive. They collect the royalty check. Is he really?
Opie's still alive.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. Well, there's one.
There you go. He probably
what do you
enjoys
think
that
his
mailbox
royalty
money.
check is on that?
On Andy?
Yes.
I don't know.
Can't be much.
Well, he's a rich dude anyway. I don't think he gives a damn.
We all care about all our money coming, especially mailbox money.
That's nice. It's been a while. You guys need to go out and rent 7 Days in Utopia. Everybody, go do it.
Uh-huh. You don't have to rent it anymore. It's like on the free movie channel.
Gee, see?
There's no more money coming.
I know, and I'm
Your
done.
38 cents is paid in full.
Damn it. I enjoyed it while it lasted. It was good times.
What'd you buy with all your royalty money there? A pack of gum?
Well, no, actually, there for about the first year, it was okay.
Really?
It wasn't bad. I got paid a set fee for the original thing, and then, mailbox money for about a year. You know, in the 3 digits.
Three digits.
Yes.
Like $1.98.
No. The
A
3
couple $100
digits
bucks?
as, yes.
Ah, nice.
See? Sometimes a little more than that.
That TV money.
Depends. Yeah.
You got used to it.
See?
Now you got a slumming radio.
I know it. You see that?
You don't get it anymore because you didn't renew your SAG card, though, right?
Well, I didn't do that. But hell, that movie, God, that was a long time ago. Seems like.
It was.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was.
Back in the early 2000s.
I was a child.
We still are.
Isn't that horrible? Were you talking about the early 2000s is a long time ago? Damn. That sucks. Hey, that was a great Cowboys segment, by the way.
Hey, man, they're getting the Houston Texans treatment when they play that way.
I guess so. Oh, Jarrah.
Trade deadline happens today. We will talk some Cowboys coming up. 5:15. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us. But you could tell the teams, not named the Cowboys, that went all in today because they know they've got a real shot at winning a Super Bowl. We'll talk about that coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Settling in after 2 on the road. The Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
GimmeTheVin.com, our expert buying team knows exotics, luxury cars, classics, diesels, lifted stuff, hot rods, inside and out. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. It's a one-stop shop to get into a pool of absolute experts. Join my YouTube channel, John Clay Wolf. GimmeTheVin.com. They don't call me America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
George Gets Justice. The attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers are proud of their local roots and their deep connection to San Antonio. They stand up for their neighbors, fight for justice, and make sure every voice is heard. When you've been injured in an accident, count on George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George guarantees that you don't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit GetGeorge.com. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct different, you have to understand our history. It goes back 60 years to a renowned diamond cutter overseas. From there came years of diamond cutting, manufacturing and wholesaling, supplying exquisite fine diamonds only to high-end jewelers. Then eventually the wholesalers started selling direct to the public, and that started a revolution. Today, we are a global diamond powerhouse with hundreds of thousands of customers and an impeccable reputation. But our core values are the same as always. Our diamonds are the highest quality cut by the best craftsmen. Our prices are the most compelling. Our selection is staggering. Our warranties and guarantees are rock solid. And our people are laser focused on helping you find the diamond of your dreams. So as the story unfolds, as the revolution continues, we invite you to experience a jewelry shopping experience unlike any other. Born in excellence, rooted in determination, and thriving in passion. Diamonds Direct. Showroom hours, directions, and more online at diamondsdirect.com. Proud to call Alamo City home. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-299-1058. 800-299-1058. Again, that's 800-299-1058. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to EnduranceWarranty.com.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs blew a 24-point lead last night, lost to the LA Clippers 113-104. They dropped to 3-4 in the season. They'll take on the Rockets in Houston tomorrow night. Cowboys made a move before today's trade deadline, trading a 2025 fourth-round draft pick to the Carolina Panthers for wide receiver Jonathan Mingo, a former second-round pick out of Mississippi. And Dak Prescott looks like, according to Jerry Jones, headed to IR.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on a Tuesday afternoon. Big news of the day, of course, the trade deadline.
Trade deadline is come and gone.
National Football League.
Cowboys got him a big wide receiver.
They did. And again, it's exactly what the Cowboys needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what the missing aspect was for this crap season that the Cowboys are going through. But it is the Cowboys. Looking at SportsCenter right now, the Mingo trade is leading the show right now on ESPN. It is beyond me, but that is the Dallas Cowboys. They acquire Jonathan Mingo and way overpaid for him, of course, because Jerry has said many times that the things that have benefited him the most, he has overpaid for him, and boy, did he overpay for a Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah, he did. Now, time will tell, right? A year or two from now, if Jonathan Mingo turns into something, if he's still a Cowboy by then, we'll have to eat our words. But as of right now, that dude is Jalen Tolbert, if he's anybody. And, yeah, I'm not sure exactly why they did that.
Well, I mean, they do need another wide receiver. And this,
exactly. There are no words.
Is he likely better than what they would have gotten in the fourth round next year? Because this move can't be about this year's roster. But if they used a fourth, and that's what they did today, they used a fourth-round pick for Jonathan Mingo in a trade with the Carolina Panthers. Now, he was a second-round pick a year ago, 2 years ago. If they
2023, yeah.
If they think that he's better than what they could get in the fourth round, or if CD's injury is a little bit more serious than we think as of today, although Jerry also said today he expects CD likely to play this Sunday against Philadelphia. But it could be a futures pick. I'm not a fan of them giving up yet another fourth-round pick, but they do have 4 fifth-round picks next year, so it wouldn't be hard for the Cowboys to trade into the fourth round next year if there's somebody there that they really want.
They can do that, and you got to wonder if that's what this deal was. Although when we talked to Stephen Jones on Thursday, because he'll join us on the Blitz, and we ask him that question, he's going to say, no, it was for this year. We made the move for this year. I guarantee he's going to tell us that. And
yes.
So, but there's no way that Jonathan Mingo is going to come in here and be the savior for this offense. I don't care who's the quarterback. Doesn't matter whether it's Dak Prescott or Trey or Cooper. Doesn't matter. Trey Mingo is not going to make the difference for this offense.
And, hey, nobody can accuse the Cowboys now of not doing anything at the deadline. They worked. They had a plan, and they worked their plan, and they made a trade. I mean, they didn't do anything in the offseason, and they've been hammered for it. And Jerry very offended by that. So today, let's go get ourselves a wide receiver.
And he did.
I mean, there was a running back available. The Bengals picked up Khalil Herbert from the Bears for a 7th-round pick.
Yeah, Mike Williams was available.
Yeah, for a 5th.
For a 5th.
But we get us a Mingo for a 4th. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Mario, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, Jason. I just want to say they're going to be stockpiling these picks for the rebuild that's coming. Because I said it a year or two ago that rebuild is coming a lot quicker than you guys thought.
Well, I would agree with you, and I think that's where it should have gone, Mario. But the fact that they signed their quarterback to $1 bazillion and CD Lamb to the money they signed him to, they're going to sign Micah Parsons. It's going to be very difficult to rebuild in that circumstance.
Well, and again, they're not really rebuilding. They're reloading for sure. But they have the most important position locked up. Whether you agree with it or not, they're not searching for a quarterback. And every team that is always through a rebuild, it starts with their quarterback. And until you find that guy, you're kind of spinning your wheels. Now, the Cowboys feel like they've found their guy. A lot of you might feel like they're just going to spin their wheels in the process. But with what they've done this offseason, without telling us, but they got their quarterback and they got a wide receiver done. They obviously did not move Micah Parsons today, although There are a lot of people wondering, do they trade away a Micah Parsons? They will pay him, and you're going to have 3 guys paid at the top of the market, which means you're going to have that roster full of young players that are producing, which this year a lot of those young players are getting experience, and the Cowboys will get to make the decision based off game tape, not practice tape. Can they move forward with these, or do they try with other young, cheap players?
Well, so in other words, this reloading, as you call it, is going to take a while. This team is not coming back anytime soon. They just can't.
Well, I mean, they've got their offensive line. Those 2 rookies on the offensive line are getting a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Go back. Tyler Smith, his first year, at the beginning of it, he struggled, and he's the best offensive lineman that the Cowboys currently have. That includes Zach Martin.
But he came on strong that year. It didn't take him 2 years to come on strong. That guy started picking it up, and he was playing damn good football before that season was over.
He was, but also I look at who was around him that helped him along. So I'm fine with seeing what you still have half a season for these other guys to get it, and then so next year if Zach Martin isn't back, you've got a chance to put that next guy in there and go from there. And again, this is Jerry's plan. This year wasn't about winning. He hasn't told us that, but clearly by his actions, it's get all that old dead weight that they let leave, all guys that we all said they could have kept if they wanted. Problem is they didn't replace them. They want to see what they've got with these young guys. And these young guys, some are playing okay, some aren't. But the Cowboys don't have a lot invested in those guys. They're certainly not expensive, but that's going to be the plan moving forward. And it's really the only plan that you can work with when you have the highest paid quarterback, the highest paid wide receiver, or one of, and you're going to have the highest paid defensive players, at least for a while until other contracts are past them. But when you've got 3 guys at the top of the market, not to mention what Diggs is getting, not to mention what Tyler Smith is going to get, not to mention what Brandon Aubrey is going to get, what other contracts are they going to have coming up? They've got to figure out how to do it, to use terms from Jerry, with guys that are only on one scholarship. Well, they're going to have to do it with those kind of players.
So if you're making Super Bowl plans for the next couple of years, don't. If you're a Cowboy fan, because it ain't happening. It's just not. You're going to waste whatever you paid for Dak Prescott, unless miraculous. The problem is, Jason, with that deal, and you've got to go with young players at so many different positions. And I don't know of a football team around that has won a championship with nothing but babies playing so many different positions. And now the Cowboys are going to be forced to do that because of what they've done with their quarterback, and not even necessarily their wide receiver. I'm not necessarily upset with that. But the fact that you pay your quarterback and you're stuck with him now for the next 4 years, he and CD alone are taking up damn near 50% of that salary cap.
They are, but I also look at their cap numbers next year. They're going to restructure those deals, and that will bring those cap number down. And we know,
I like your optimism.
Well, but we know that's what's going to happen. There's no way that they could go into the season with that. Right now, it looks bad, but we know they'll restructure and create some money. The idea that most say you've got to win while your quarterback is on a rookie deal.
Yep.
Okay. Cowboys clearly are going to go try the other way. All right, quarterback's high-priced. How did the Rams do it? High-priced quarterback. They had some other players, and then they had a lot of young players that were surrounding some of those veterans.
Rams?
The Rams, when they went all in. They had some veterans.
A bunch of vets.
They had some vets in some key positions, but the rest of that roster was young players. That's the only way to afford it. You either do it with a lot of high-priced vets on a rookie quarterback deal, or quarterbacks getting paid.
That's not
and
what
you
the
go
Rams
from
did.
there.
That's not what Tampa Bay did. They went all in. They went over the cap and paid for it afterwards. That's what they did. They didn't have a bunch of young players. They didn't have a bunch of young players at all. They went all in with veteran talent. That's why they got Matthew Stafford. And, I mean, we can go back through the roster, and I guarantee you they didn't have a lot of young players. They went all in because they signed a bunch of high-priced veteran talent. It's the same thing that Tampa Bay did when they had Tom Brady there to win the Super Bowl, because that's what everybody thought that Jerry Jones was going to do this year with his all-in comment, and he didn't do it. So if you win a Super Bowl with a bunch of young kids on your roster, which you're going to be forced to do, then God bless you, and I'll eat my words. But I haven't seen it done, and I don't anticipate it being done.
But you got to have the quarterback, and Jerry thinks he has his quarterback.
Well, he's high-priced. Washington's got their quarterback that they may get it done with. San Francisco's been to the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback.
So is Cincinnati.
Well, sure they have, but he was on a rookie deal.
Yes, and he hasn't been back.
He hasn't.
You go back to Russell Wilson,
and
Super
why
Bowl
hasn't
twice
he been
on
back?
his
He got
his
paid.
rookie deal.
The only guy that's done it is Patrick Mahomes, and he does it, and they got nobody. So I mean, he's the only guy that I know that can do that. It's going to be tough for the Cowboys over the next few years. It is. And I think it was a huge mistake. Well, again, we've been over this. But you let Dak Prescott play out the season, and then you see what happens. If he walks, he walks. And then you rebuild with a young quarterback, even if he takes his lumps, but you can put some veteran pieces around him and make him better. It's exactly what San Francisco did with Brock Purdy. Exactly what they did.
Except for they tripped into Brock Purdy, yet didn't win the Super Bowl. And that's the thing, is you look at, Burrow win.
They went.
Well, again, didn't win.
But they went.
Didn't win. It didn't win. That's the thing.
Wouldn't you like to just go?
I mean, what are we going back to? Russell Wilson's the last guy on a rookie deal to win a Super Bowl?
I'm just saying, it'd be nice to go to a
there
Super
is no
Bowl,
perfect formula unless you somehow land a Patrick Mahomes or you get a Tom Brady that shows up and everything goes your way.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got a Mingo now, because that's exactly what the Cowboys needed today. Let's talk about it. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, because of course you do. The best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract, you got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Aaron Lewis and the State Liners. Country boy is all I'll ever be. The American As It Gets Tour. February 6th, Majestic Theater. Am I the only one? Tickets on sale now at majesticempire.com. Take a bullet for being more free at aaronlewismusic.com. I'm American as it gets. Aaron Lewis and the State Liners. American As It Gets Tour.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while you're watching sports. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You think Dak is going to have higher or lower yards than his stat coming up in this game? You can make money off that opinion at Underdog. Create entries with football, basketball, mix and match. You can do it all. They've even got college sports as well. I've been playing a lot of those college props. I think there is some money to be made in those deals. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at the Spurs. I'm going Wemby to go over on his rebounds. And guys, again, every sport is available on here. It's a blast, and it just makes the games more interesting. This season, they're running a special promo or bonus almost every single day. Profit boost, discounts, free picks. They're basically a sure thing. A player has to get higher than a half a point to get the win. All new users get a free pick. Download the app, sign up with the promo code Alamo, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash immediately. That's promo code Alamo. Must be 18 or older. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
What's up?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The Spurs have just sent out an injury update. Jeremy Sohan, fracture in his left thumb. He'll have surgery.
Wow.
No timetable how long he will be out.
Wow. That's tough.
That is tough.
He playing well.
And no update on Greg Popovich with that update coming from the San Antonio Spurs. Let's talk about the Cowboys and their massive trade today because they certainly filled a need. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Offensive line help, running back with a pulse. Let's go get us a wide receiver and overpay for him. What were the Cowboys thinking? What was the thought process behind the move today, Charean?
The only thing I can think is Jerry wanted to show that, hey, I'm willing to do something. I'm really willing to go trade for a player and try to help my team win. That's all I can think. I mean, they gave up too much for a middling receiver who was a second-round bust, is a second-round bust, who has 12 receptions this year, has never made a touchdown in his 2 seasons in the NFL. I don't know. To me, it's a waste of a draft pick and a high draft pick. As everybody knows, they have traded more for Jonathan Mingo than they gave up, than they got back in the trade for Amari Cooper, which we keep going back to. But frankly, if they had held on to Amari, they'd be in much better shape now than going out and trading for Jonathan Mingo. Nothing against Jonathan Mingo, but it's a bad trade. And fourth round draft pick, they've done a really good job in the fourth round of players, and they missed out. The Trey Lance trade is going to go down as one of the worst in their history because of what they're going to get out of Trey Lance. Now, I would expect to see Trey Lance play some this year, but long term, he's not going to be a quarterback here more than likely. And what they gave up to get him, a fourth round pick that they could have used on a running back and gotten a very good running back who would have helped him this year. So what they're doing, I don't think anybody knows what they're doing. I'm not even sure Jerry knows what they're doing.
That may be the best line of the day right there, Charean. Well, let's talk about Trey Lance, because I've seen a lot of people that cover the Cowboys tweeting out and saying some things that maybe Trey Lance should be the guy moving forward if Dak's out any time at all. What do you think about that? Or do you think there should maybe a combination of Cooper Rush and Trey Lance?
My thought is Jerry sees the Eagles and the Texans as two of his biggest rivals for obvious reasons. One's in the division, one's in the state. Who gives them the best chance to beat those two teams? I'm not saying they're going to win, but who gives them the best chance? It's Cooper Rush. And I think he wants to win those two games or have a chance to win those two games. They're probably not going to win those two games, and if they don't, you're out of the playoff race anyway, and then that's when you put Trey Lance in. That is having known Jerry for as long as I have, been around him, that's me getting into his head thinking what he's thinking right now. And that's my thought. So I think Cooper Rush will have the job for 2 games. If they win those 2 games, they're right in it. They've got a shot. If they lose those 2 games, then I think we're going to see Trey Lance until and if Dak Prescott comes back. Now, if they lose those 2 games, why would you bring Dak Prescott back? Why would Dak Prescott want to come back and play? I mean, I get it. They're competitors. They want to be out there if they're healthy, but there's no reason. And you risk a long-term injury if you bring him back at the end of the season for games that don't matter. So something to think about. They're going to have to think about if they do lose these next 2 games and start playing Trey Lance and lose some more games. But we'll see how this thing plays out. But that's me getting in Jerry's head. I just think he wants to have a chance to beat these 2 teams. They're 2 of, in his mind, the biggest rivals that the Cowboys have.
Now, that said, and I don't disagree, obviously, with the thought process. And competitors, they still feel like they have a chance until they're mathematically eliminated. And I go back to you've got Philadelphia coming up. They've got this guy named Saquon Barkley. Cowboys haven't been able to stop the run all year.
Right.
And they didn't address that at the trade deadline. In fact, they released a defensive tackle today, the Phillips guy, who's apparently on his way back to Buffalo. So how bad was he if he couldn't help this defense? But what did the Cowboys do to address the defensive situation, especially when it comes to stopping the run?
Well, I think you're obviously getting back Michael Parsons, which is going to help some, but is he going to help stop Saquon Barkley? Probably not. I expect Saquon Barkley to have a huge game against the Cowboys, perhaps the biggest game he's had since he signed with the Eagles, which is saying something because he's got a lot of big games for the Eagles since he signed there. Yeah, I don't know that they have many answers for Saquon Barkley, and that's probably the reason that they're going to lose this game is because they don't have an answer for him, and they're not going to be able to score enough points on offense, I don't think, to get them there. So, I think we all expect them to lose this game. Now, Philadelphia, let's be honest, hasn't played great. They've played okay, and they've done enough to win most of their games. I understand that. But I do think it's going to be a closer game maybe than some people think. I think it's close at halftime. They end up getting blown out in the second half. But I do think they'll keep this game close in the first half. Could be totally wrong. They haven't done that at home this year. But I just have a feeling that they may play pretty well in the first half of this game.
Charean, what do you think about this whole Zeke Elliott situation and what happened? What are you hearing?
Well, it's obviously for disciplinary reasons for him missing meetings, and it finally came to a head the last couple of days before they left to go to I can't even remember where
Atlanta. Yeah.
To play on Sunday. So, why they didn't cut him, I don't know. I know he's a popular player in the locker room, but he's not doing really anything for you. He hasn't. We didn't expect him to. Anybody who has watched him play the last 2 or 3 years didn't expect him to. What the Cowboys thought they were getting in him, I have no idea. It was a bad signing, even for the price that they paid for him. If it was me, I would have moved on from him and let him go and go with the guys that we have. See more of Dalvin Cook. Play Rico obviously I think has won that job and deserves to have the most carries, and then you supplement him with some of those other guys that you're playing. I just don't know what Zeke gives you having him on your roster. And I would have cut him, but that's not what they want to do right now. So he is on the roster. We'll see if he's active come this week.
And what I'm curious, I mean, I know he was a great teammate before they let him go and he went to New England. He comes back, still that great guy, and I know he's friends with Dak, but if he's late to meetings or missing meetings, how great of a teammate is he actually being? I mean, wouldn't that be a message that Mike McCarthy could send, or does McCarthy just not have any say-so whatsoever in the matter?
Well, that very well may be. I mean, Jerry loves Zeke. They have a good relationship, so that very well may be that Jerry is overruling the GM, is overruling the coach in this case. That absolutely could be the case. There's no question about that. So I don't think that McCarthy wanted Zeke, and my guess is, along with you, that I don't think that he wants him now, but I think Jerry wants him on the roster, and I think that's why he's on the roster right now. But there may come a point when they have to say this isn't working for us, and we got to move on from Ezekiel Elliott. I think I think he probably, with his last team in his last season, after what we've seen, I don't see anybody signing him after this year. So we very well may have seen the last of Zeke. Maybe he'll be active. We'll see, but I don't think we're going to see much more of Zeke in his career.
Charean, speaking of that, is there any way, barring a major miracle, that Mike McCarthy is back next year?
No. There's no possible way he's back. He's gone, and some of the things that Jerry said about Mike McCarthy after Sunday's game. If you go back and look, 4 years ago, I guess it was almost the same point in the season, mid-season. He said the same things about Jason Garrett. It was almost word for word. I was almost the exact same quote. It was unbelievable how close it was to what he said about Jason Garrett. I think they made up their minds, and I think they made up their minds before the season started that, all right, well, we'll give him one more year. If things work out great, he gets an extension. If they don't, okay, we move on. So I think the question now is who's going to be the next head coach of the Cowboys, and I think they're already thinking about that and looking at that, considering that. And I don't know if there's any great answers for who that's going to be, but I do think they're already considering the prospects of moving on from McCarthy and thinking about the next head coach.
Well, in looking around the league and knowing there will be many more openings, there's already 2, and you look at Jacksonville, and there's some other places where you expect there to be openings. Do you think Jerry makes the move a little bit sooner rather than later just to make sure he gets the guy that he wants? I mean, and granted, everybody's going to speculate it's going to be Bill Belichick, and that's certainly not a long-term answer. Would Jerry, at least this time around, consider going with one of the up-and-coming coordinators like, I don't know, Ben Johnson in Detroit?
Well, first, he has to follow the NFL rules. It's not going to be – it's going to be the same process that everyone else follows. It's going to come after the season is done. It's going to be a long process of interviewing coaches. I mean, that's what they have to do now. So following the Rooney Rule and the other rules that the NFL has established, he can't do anything before anybody else. So that's a no to that. And then do I expect it to be a coordinator, no. I think it'll be an established head coach. That's kind of mostly Jerry's MO. I know he went with Jason Garrett, but he knew Jason Garrett, and Jason had played there and coached there and was already on the staff. So I expect him to go with an established head coach. I don't expect him to go with a young coordinator. Do I think he should? Absolutely, I think he should, but I don't think he will.
Interesting.
Good stuff.
Dallas Cowboys, Charean.
And we're only halfway through.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be it's really going to be a long season for Cowboys fans, and I know they already know that. But it's just a tough year when your team, you're only halfway through, and you feel like your team has no chance. And why would you think they have a chance with all the injuries they had, and the fact that they weren't very good when they did have all their players? There's just not a lot of hope out there for the Cowboys. And then you start to say, how long is a rebuild going to take? I mean, if they don't go out and use free agency, this is going to be a long rebuild, because I just don't think you can do it in one draft and turn things around.
Very true. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk. Follow her on Twitter at NFL Charean. Read her there at ProFootballTalk.com. Charean, always appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. The great Charean Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Jason, the last 3 years we can take for granted. At least the Cowboys, you had, well, you knew they were going to get beat in the playoffs, but at least you had the playoffs coming.
12 wins. I mean, they had that one defense that could have been historically great. Obviously, they weren't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's all Dak's fault.
It is, yes. I blame Dak.
Blame Dak.
Yes.
Exactly. And if he didn't get hurt, they might have a chance to win against Philadelphia.
Well, maybe they will now that Cooper Rush is coming to the rescue.
In Rush we trust?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure. More bad Spurs injury news. Jeremy Sohan on a commercial flight home.
Wow.
To San Antonio. We'll
That's
explain.
Yep.
Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, maybe your heater, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. Now, I know it's November. You probably, if you haven't done your maintenance yet on your heater, get it done. Make sure your heater is ready for when you're actually going to need it. Quartermoon has great maintenance programs that ensures your unit is ready for every season. If you got plumbing issues, Quartermoon, experts worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and at Quartermoon, they are green certified. Call them 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
The Morning Huddle.
This is the second time in a row where Rob has conveniently forgotten his wallet the day that we go get lunch.
I didn't suggest lunch today, though.
We do lunch almost every Wednesday.
I'd forgotten the day.
They brought us our checks, and then Rob, hey, one of you guys is going to have to cover this. I don't have my wallet.
Oh, man.
And I said, wait a minute, that's exactly what you said last week.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of '98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets? Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. Same on Instagram. In fact, if you go to the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram page, there's a poll. Yesterday we talked with Jalen Walthall from UIW. He's the one that had the headstand celebration on Saturday that was copied in the NFL a couple of times on Sunday. I'm going to guess there's college football tonight. If you're looking for something to watch on TV, there is college football tonight.
There sure is.
We'll probably see some headstands. Now, they called it bottoms up is what he told us when he was on the Blitz with us yesterday. And you can go watch the whole interview at sasportstar.com or on the YouTube channel, and it's all there. But I think it needs to have either his name in it or some association with Incarnate Word.
Well, yeah, I would think so. Maybe more so, and no offense to Incarnate Word, but maybe more so his name.
Yes.
Because he could take it with him if,
now,
or pass it down, whatever he wants to do.
There were some suggestions on the show yesterday, and so we put some of those on the poll question. Now, I know because he messaged me the one that Jalen likes the most.
Are you going to let us know that at some point in time?
No, I don't want to skew the voting. It's a fair election.
Well, when the voting is over, you're going to let us know.
Yes.
If he won what he wanted.
Exactly, because right now, Word Up, well, and I say right now, I haven't checked in a while, but Word Up was winning very early on.
That's on sasportstar.com?
No, on SA Sports Star on the Instagram.
On the Instagram?
On Instagram.
I'm going to have to go find out and vote.
I thought we were going to have that also on Twitter, but Ryan is slacking. He didn't put it on Twitter.
All right.
I'm not sure why, but he told me he was going to do that before the show, and I have not seen anything on our Twitter account. So I'm guessing he has not done that.
It's not there. Okay. I will be voting in that poll, by the way.
We should vote in all the polls.
Well, I should. Depends.
I say that 7 minutes ago we tweeted about it. But there's not a poll on Twitter. It's a link to the Instagram post.
I don't see a poll on the Instagram post. Where's the poll?
It's right there under the thing.
Under the thing?
Yeah, see
that right there?
Yeah, see the
says
little
vote.
writing
How
there
about that?
where it says vote.
Look at that.
Look at that. What are your options there, sir?
The waffle stand, off the waffle, Waffle House, or Word Up.
Okay.
Those are the four. Now, who thought of those?
The people on YouTube yesterday. We pulled them right off of these suggestions.
I like Bottoms Up better than any of those.
Yeah, but Bottoms Up doesn't have anything to do with his name.
All right. I'll vote here in a minute.
Well, you don't want to tell us your vote?
No. Why should I? You're not telling me what Jalen wants.
Well,
I might skew the vote.
You could. You could.
Huh. All right, I'm voting.
You got to vote correctly. Not that one. Son of a... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What's funny
I have no
about
idea,
that-
but your font is so big, we can all read that.
My font's not big.
Are you kidding?
You kidding me? So the one I voted for is 50%.
Okay.
There you go.
Good.
All right.
So go vote on our Instagram page at SA Sports Star.
And follow us there, too, by the way.
You could do that.
Yes.
I never did. Do we have any more rings to give away? The World Series is over. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Holy cow.
What?
He's got the injury report for the Spurs.
Yeah?
And the Rockets.
Uh-oh.
There's a lot of injuries going around there.
For tomorrow night's game.
Tomorrow night's game, yeah.
We'll get in detail coming up on our injury update on the Jeremy Sohan injury. And also Shohei Ohtani. He had surgery today. So a lot to talk about coming up on our injury update. But with the Spurs, as they fly from Los Angeles to Houston for tomorrow's game with a gazillion injuries in that game, the one update that I think most people are most concerned with, we still do not have from the San Antonio Spurs, and that is a health update on head coach Greg Popovich.
Other than what we got from Mitch Johnson yesterday pregame saying he's okay, I think he said he will be okay. No, he is okay. Whatever the case is, take him at his word, and that's good news if that's the case.
Well, and again, you look at some of the reporting. Mike Finger has an incredible column today in the Express News about Mitch Johnson, the interim head coach. And basically, I think the words indefinite or sham charania, let me find my notes, he used the term foreseeable future for Mitch Johnson.
Yeah.
Shams also said very serious, great level of concern, and needed medical attention on Saturday night. So Saturday at the AT&T Center, or excuse me, the Frost Bank Center, it kind of felt more like he was just dealing with, he didn't feel good.
Yeah.
A little cold, something going
Sure.
on. No major concern shown Saturday night. Props to the Spurs for pulling that off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the report, the only update is, for health reasons, he wasn't there last night and won't be there Wednesday, but certainly seems a lot more serious. No update, which has led to a lot of speculation, which I'm sure the Spurs aren't happy with, but that's all that's going on. And people that, you and I have done this for a long time, and we've heard from a lot of people that know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yes.
And all the different things that I've heard, they're all alarming, and it's kind of comical that they're all so vastly different with what Pop could actually be dealing with.
They are different. That's why we're not saying anything, and I'm not going to say anything until I get a confirmation of what it is. But obviously it wasn't good. You just go by Shams and what he's saying, and it's not good. And it leads me to believe that it was one of two things that I'm not going to say, but that just seems to make the most sense to me.
Absolutely. As we talk about a variety of injuries, including one from the San Antonio Spurs from about 20 minutes ago, let's talk about it with our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine online at TSAOG.com. Let's welcome in Dr. Richard Nauert on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Doc, we were talking yesterday and I always said big words, they kind of screw everything up. So Jeremy Sohan, according to the Spurs, suffered a fracture in the proximal phalanx of his left thumb. What the hell does that mean? He hurt his thumb?
Yeah, Yep. Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, that's exactly right. It's he broke the thumb bone, for lack of a better term, in the very tip of it. And so obviously a pretty important aspect of the hand and the thumb, especially for a basketball player. And so something that, they're going to keep a close eye on.
Well, apparently he's going to have surgery on that, from what we're being told, Doc. What kind of a recovery time estimate do you have for something like that?
Yeah, so it depends. Usually it's going to be at least a period of, about 6 weeks. You have to stabilize the bone to allow it to heal in the correct position, and then rehab the player after that. And so it depends a little bit on how everything goes, the exact nature of surgery, how the break is in the bone exactly, but we can anticipate, at least a few weeks out and possibly even a little bit more.
Now, according to the San Antonio Express news reporters, at least Mike Finger, he is confirming Jeremy is on his way back to San Antonio because they're on the same flight, Southwest Airlines. How bad is it if they don't even send the private jet for him? They book him a flight on Southwest. At least they upgraded him because Mike did say on Twitter he's in an exit row.
Yeah, you know how things are these days. We're cutting costs everywhere, so who knows?
Can't be that bad, right, Doc? If he's on Southwest.
That's right. No, he'll be fine, and they'll get to him quick. Oh yeah.
All right, I've got to ask you about the Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott, hamstring injury. Suffered on Sunday. They did the MRI, said it was worse than initially thought, and now it looks like they're going to put him on IR, which is at least 4 weeks. Well, I know you haven't examined him or done anything, but when it's worse than initially feared, what usually does that mean?
Yeah, so hamstring injuries are tough, and especially for any type of athlete, especially a high-level athlete like Dak, because the hamstring is such a powerful muscle group that helps to power our legs, especially for quick start and stop and sprinting. And so typically when we think of hamstring injuries, we think of them on a grading scale. A lower grade usually means it's going to get better a little faster. It's not as bad. Higher grade, meaning that it's a more significant tear. And in Dak's case, it's likely a little bit of a higher grade tear, but it also depends on the location of the tear. People often think of hamstring injuries as being within the meat of the muscle, which is kind of more of the mid portion of the thigh. Well, Dak actually mentioned that his felt a little higher up, and sometimes that can mean it's an injury at the muscle tendon junction. Muscles hook onto bones via a tendon, and so if you have an injury at that muscle tendon junction, sometimes that can mean a longer recovery period and more rehab to get the athlete back to playing.
So, I mean, a little bit higher now. Not lost on anybody that before the game there was a lot made that Dak wasn't running the ball at all this year. Guys like Joe Flacco had more rushing yards than Dak. We all knew he was going to run the ball in that game more just to prove a point. And while he technically hurt it while passing in the pocket, he did say he felt something on that run on the play before. Is this an injury that happens just because, quite frankly, he hasn't been running at that level?
It's hard to know, and it could be he wasn't running at that level because he'd been dealing with a little bit of a nagging injury for a period of time this season. Obviously, I don't know, and I don't know exactly what's been going on, but sometimes these can be lingering injuries that all of a sudden you're kind of playing and rehabbing through, and then you re-injure it or sustain a bigger injury. So that could have played a role. And that actually is important with when we bring these athletes back, because we know once you pull a hamstring or sustain a hamstring injury, you're always more likely to re-injure that hamstring with just the way it heals. It's never 100% back to normal. And so we're cautious with returning back, and that may be the reason for IR and a little bit more of a prolonged absence, just to try and make sure we get that healed as well as possible before Dak comes back.
Let's talk real quick about CeeDee Lamb, Doc. And we're talking about he sprained his AC joint. Now, he played through it after the injury on Sunday, and everybody seems to think he will play. What exactly is a sprained AC joint?
So the AC joint is basically the joint between the collarbone and the shoulder blade. And there's a bunch of different ligaments that hold that area in place. You can imagine in the shoulder region, there's a lot of movement and motion, and there's different ligaments that help stabilize that. Well, a sprain of the AC joint is a sprain or injury to those ligaments. And again, it can be on a lower grade to higher grade scale. typically for our athletes, our football players, if they're able to play through it or get back to it, it's more of a lower grade injury. Now, it still has significant consequence for a receiver that needs to have good shoulder motion and getting their arms out in space to catch. And so CB's been rehabbing and working on that, and he's playing through it, but it's a painful injury. And sometimes we can do a steroid shot or something like that in the area to help decrease the pain to get them back to playing faster, but he's tough, and it's tough to get back from those.
All right, so basically just take the shot and get out there and
get
play,
out there and play. Rub some
the
dirt on it.
Cowboys need
Yeah.
that. Getting late word this hour, Doc. Shohei Ohtani had surgery today to repair a labrum tear. Obviously, he dislocated his shoulder during the World Series. They say he's expected to be ready for spring training, which I know it's kind of weird. The World Series just happened. You think about spring training, but that's February. That's literally right around the corner. Is that 3-4 month time window normal for a labrum repair?
It's pretty normal for a labrum repair. Sometimes it can be a little bit more. We all know that Shohei is an alien, so I fully expect him to return stronger than ever and have a faster recovery than most. But no, absolutely,
Would you bet on
especially when we're talking. Yeah, right. For Shohei, him being such a big base runner and obviously sliding into base with contact athletes, it's important to try and stabilize that shoulder to keep it from having future instability. So it was planned all along. They obviously did it right after the World Series to try and get him back for top shape for next year.
Absolutely. Dr. Richard Nauert with the sports update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Great job your first time coming on with us.
Yeah,
fantastic.
perfect.
And welcome to TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on, and let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Right. Dr. Richard Nauert on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades, traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Muscle Tendon Junction. Somebody's got to come up with that as a great band name. As soon as he was talking about that, I stopped thinking about Dak's hamstring and more about that would be a great band name.
Yeah.
You don't think?
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be fine. And then I'll ask you, who the hell is that and who came up with it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we'll credit Dr. Richard Nauert.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. Good information there, especially on Dak and CD. So, and Jeremy for that matter. So Jeremy looking at weeks, possibly as long as 6.
Yeah. At the very least.
Yeah.
At the very least. And just know that he's on that direct flight from L.A. to San Antonio as we speak.
It's a great flight.
Absolutely it is. Thank goodness. But he's in the exit row.
Yes, nice.
Cavante Turbin is the guest coming up on the Cowboys Hour.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, Sunday afternoon at 3:20.